everybody. You know how we start this. Roll call.
Kaya.
Ryan.
Mikey.
Kyle.
And Steven! The Snake. Welcome to episode 28 of our Mole Master campaign, Elemental Evils. The Odd Jobs. Currently in the middle of a whole bunch of different modules, so this one does not have a title, just simply episode 28. In our last adventures, with our favorite group of adventurers of Mole Master, a couple different vignettes played out. Rornak spent his time tending to those in the House of Suffering, learning that a monk by the name of Ovan had been allegedly teaching individuals the Breath of the Yellow Rose, a advanced breathing and meditation technique that allegedly allows one to subside on simply nothing but air and occasionally a bit of water. That is starting to infect the populace of Mole Master, especially those naive and wealthy. Also finding out that the noble Thylius Karametriou is in leagues with this monk, unbeknownst to the party of what Karametriou's intentions truly are. Moving on over to Jasper. Jasper had a double adventure, one of a small shopping spree and meeting Ilva, a refugee from Flan, and the current paramour of Sebastian Stowe, the young Zor of the Stowe household and one of the Blades of Mole Master. There, Jasper revealed her identity to Ilva as Lapis Lap, also known as Lapis Goss, legally, and proposed an idea to My Fair Lady, the situation, and teach Ilva how to be a Zora of Mole Master, so that she, using a mask granted by the god Mask, could assume the identity of Lapis Goss and marry Sebastian Stowe, Zor Sebastian Stowe, allowing Jasper to continue to adventure at night and giving her a sense of freedom from her duties of Mole Master, whilst letting Sebastian Stowe and Ilva continue their true love's endeavors. Afterwards, Jasper went to the Bloody Boar and watched a number of fights. One with her assassination targets, Audric Satorn, and watched him deftly, if a bit showboat-like, attack and win his fights in the Bloody Boar's fighting pit. And then watched a secondary fight of an individual known as the Stone Dwarf, who managed to defeat his orc opponent in a single strike of devastating combat. Whilst Jasper is getting to know her targets and the Bloody Boar, run by an individual known as, what's her name?
Githendra.
Indeed. Gethmedra Darmov, usually referred to as Darmov, a sort of self-styled fighting pit pirate, bar owner, delinquent type, who sits upon a throne watching the fights. Whilst that is happening, our very own Joe Featherfoot, after receiving a number of different items, including winter gear and preparation for a potential trek through the Glacier of the White Worm, ran into an individual, a heavily scarred individual sitting on a bridge, the Last Drop, a bridge that we are very familiar with in this party from one of our earliest adventures. There, Jove was educated on the comings and goings of the Falling Star Mine, which has recently shut down, cutting off a large supply of iron to the city of Mole Master. The Rending Talon Groshen lore appealed to Jove, and under the promise of 1,000 gold pieces has instructed the halfling to investigate, learning that a dwarf of the Ledwa Khazar clan currently fights in the Bloody Boar, none other than the Stone Dwarf himself. Jove got out of this conversation just fine, but not before seeing a number of the Hawks, Mole Master's secret police, only a few feet away in nearly every direction from Groshing Lore, the Rending Talon, who Joe would later find is the Talon of the city of Mulmaster, one of the head figures and the individual who has run the secret police of Mulmaster undefeated for the last 20 years. Lastly, our party, as they began to all reconvene at the Oxpit Tavern, Freddy met with Throondrazi, showed her and allowed her to mark down the strange symbol that seems to cause a certain form of madness on those who stare at it for too long, recognizing the symbol only as one referred to as the Chained Oblivion. Throondrazi was increasingly worried about Freddy, and as the nights grew long, the music played and drinks were had, Freddy spent the majority of the nights with Throondrazi, with a gracious fate away. Reconvening, the party met at the Oxpit Tavern and shared their recent information gathering, staking out to execute Audric Satorn from the Bloody Boar, find the source of a silkroot epidemic of a rather potent drug that is starting to seep into the city, even affecting those as low as the Zent ghettos and as high as some of the Mulmaster nobles. And last but not least, the party headed over to the Indigo Wings, where they finally met Crewmeg's associate Fergus Boltsmelter, a rather odd dwarf who wears a strange necklace and asks seemingly odd, unrelated questions. After a small agreement, the party was paid 125 gold pieces a day to guard the ship. And after a long day of staring at the Bay of Mulmaster, the docks, and moving from top deck to below deck, the group was paid for an otherwise easy day of work before heading over to Mr. Svage's, an old associate, an original employer of the Odd Jobs before they formed their later adventuring group. Meeting Zora Colkin, a current refugee from the Embers of Elmswood, an ally to the party, and Mr. Svage with a rather awkward interaction with Saul. The party was invited to Mr. Svage's next event, a philanthropic and charity event looking to drive funds to help raise money to take back Flan, led by some Flan refugees, including Ector Brahms, the Lord Regent of Flan, Aya Glenmere, one of their most prestigious wizards, the Knight Commander Ailey Burrell of Flan, and last but not least, what is allegedly to be an appearance by the heroes of Flan, the Lost and Found. Lastly, the party asked Mr. Svage to help them receive an audience with the Karametrus, a noble house, as we spoke of earlier, and Mr. Svage was happy to begin the invitation, setting up for the following evening for the Odd Jobs to be granted an audience with Corona, that is the name of it. It's poor naming, but that's the name of this noble, Corona Karametrio, a Zora of Mulmaster. We return back to the party amidst the sounds of drinking, fighting, betting, and all manners of unscrupulous activity as we return back to the Bloody Boar, a infamous fighting pit and tavern, only recognizable by the long since slain and in dire states of needed repairs boar that is constantly dripping with all manners of fluids, from rainwater to alcohol to other bodily fluids of less than chivalrous character. Let's start off with having everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check as you all begin to enter into the Bloody Boar. It's a large, kind of slightly below ground level venue. Around the side from our last session, Jasper, you were able to see what appears to be a fighter's entrance around the side, leading deeper underneath into the fighting pits, whilst the rest, the main entrance leads into a large, almost arena-style like tavern with 2 bars on each end, headed at the north end by by Darmov's throne. And then going about 20 feet down into a large pit, there is 8 portcullises that open up, allowing a multitude of individuals to enter. And the most notable point in the pit being a large kind of bronze statue that holds 2 sunstones, with what appears to be small cages underneath and empty eye sockets that look out into the many crowds witnessing the fighting pits. What are those perception checks?
In the chat.
Oh,
Chat, what
excellent.
they are.
And there they are. 14, 11, 17, and 12. The vast majority of you, Jasper included, spend your time pushing through multiple bodies, seeing coins being bet and tossed from side to side, a number of drinks being served out. Already a brawl seems to be forming towards the back of the fighting pits. One person already getting pushed into it and falling 20 feet with a large thud to the laughter of the crowd. Jove, you see towards the throne what appears to be an individual in an all-black mask who is currently receiving funds and what appears to be a sign-up for the fighting pits. Party. Lost and found. I mean, odd jobs. I have the lost found on the brain. What would you like to do?
So, from what I can tell, are they all battles to the death, or are there like to knockout fights?
In what you have seen, they are battles to the death. They're gladiatorial in nature. This is not a get knocked out. This is blood sports. And you definitely know that is blood sport because of all of the ridiculous amounts of gold being bet.
Yeah. Can we tell what fighters are getting bet on right now?
Yeah, go ahead and just with that one. You listen around. You kind of see the different individuals taking gold and giving out. It appears that tonight there is going to be 3 bouts. There are currently 2 champions of the gladiator pits, of the fighting pits of the Bloody Boar. One is Audric Satorn, the duelist, who is set to have a fight tonight. One is the Stone Dwarf, Boone Ludwig-Kazar, the current champion of the fighting pit, who has yet to lose. And lastly,
is he slated at all?
Is he slated for the evening?
Yeah.
Tonight, no, he is not slated for
Okay.
the evening. Tonight is Audric Satorn, and there is an open call for the fighting pits. Today, any individual who would like to go into the fighting pits can pay to enter in, and the winners receiving the invitation to join some of the bigger fights in the following days to come.
I'm fucking tempted.
Jove will kind of pull on Jasper's sleeve and point out the person with the black mask in case she hadn't seen them yet, and say, Jasper, you said that you had been here before, right? Is that the person that's collecting the bets over there? And we'll point out that individual.
What exactly is the mask? I missed that one.
It is a sheer black mask, not like the one that you possess. It seems to be either porcelain or perhaps maybe onyx. It seems to be hard, blackened. Almost think of like a matte black, like yokai mask, with the full black robes, black gloves. Just about every noticeable feature covered by this individual, and their station is on the right hand of the throne. You, Jasper, roll me an
Oh,
insight
that's
check.
right.
Yes, you recognize this individual as what appears to be the right hand of Darmov.
Okay. My insight is a 20 for 19.
20 for 19. You have heard that this individual is, and thinking back on it, is known as Devamari, who is rumored to be Darmov's mage.
Okay. I believe that individual is called Devamari. They're Darmom's mage. Are they collecting bets, or do I know that to be someone else?
They are not the one that collects bets. They collect fees for entering into the gladiator pits.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that's who you want to pay if you want to get into the fights.
Oh well, yeah. Don't think that's going to happen here. Usually at my best with a little bit of that, juice from the Emerald Enclave, and I don't know if that's going to be. Well, I know for a fact that'll be frowned upon around these parts, so probably steer clear any fighting. I'm thinking I might fan out, and I'm not seeing that Ledwell Khazar individual. I'm not seeing no stony-looking dwarf here yet, but I don't know. I might try and find some of my kinfolk around here and see if I can, pry any information out of them. Maybe get a couple of drinks while I'm at it.
Yeah, I can promise you'll know that dwarf when you see him. I'm gonna place a bet on somebody real quick, and I don't know. I'm mulling over getting in a fight myself just so I can get in with some of the more talented individuals. Maybe I can get you the in you need.
Well, let me know if you do, because I'll be sure to bet on you.
Wait, where do we place bets?
I'll point to whoever I understand that to be.
Yeah, and you see what appears to be a half-orc kind of off to the side with like almost think of like, was it Lucy from the Peanuts with like the wooden stand and a couple of other rather large-looking half-orcs at the side who is taking in gold, and you can see on like a wooden placard next to it a number of odds with tonight's fights. The lowest odds being on like the entrance fights. Sir Audric Satorn, the odds are stacked in his favor. Betting on him will get you a no small. It's much better to vote against his opponents. And then currently for Boone, it's like 1-1, if that. The undefeated champion.
Yeah, despite the odds being in Satorn's favor, I'm gonna bet some money on him, if I may.
Yeah, how much money would you like to bet?
He seems like a surefire bet, and if he's not, then my problems are solved. So, I'll throw 25 gold at
25
him.
gold, absolutely. The half-orc takes your 25 gold and gets you a writ that has your information and your betted amounts. If Audric is to fall, the payout for that one, I believe currently the odds are 3-1. It'd be 75 gold pieces coming back at you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the lady's got the right idea. I'm gonna throw 100 on it.
Nice.
So you get another one. The payout for that one even greater. And you are betting against Audric Satorn.
Oh, I'm betting in favor
for
of
him.
Audric.
For him, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, returning back, it is pretty evenly matched. But you bet on Audric Satorn. As one ledger, as like 125 gold pieces, or a 25 gold bet and 100 bet.
If I see Freddy's itching to bet as well, she'll just hand him her gold as well and
Okay.
move on to signing up herself.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, the payout should be the same.
Good take. So, as you go to head up there, Rornak, what are you doing in this moment?
Good question.
Clutching your pearls.
Dancing. Um,
You know, Rornak would actually like to view the fight himself. I think he has a genuine curiosity on who is there and how they operate.
Gotcha. Okie dokie. Jasper, you head over to sign up for the fights. You see that there is not a very long line for this one. You almost can immediately walk up to Devamari, who has quill in hand and a sheer black mask on, black gloves, all his features heavily obscured. Joining the fighting pits? He asked towards you.
Yeah, you know what? I have a taste for blood right now. I could get in on that.
Wondrous. The entry fee is 50 gold pieces.
Phew. Yeah, you know, gotta spend money to make money. And she'll count out 50 gold pieces. That is fucking steep. Alright,
Devamari collects your 50 gold pieces and points you towards a door leading down into the lower pits of the fighting pits. Your bout should begin in the better part of an hour. Go, rest, collect yourself with the other fighters, and we will call you to your portcullis. Let me tell you of the rules. No outside assistance may be aided to you whilst in the fighting pits. This includes any form of weaponry thrown into the pits, allies, or allied magic. Breaking the rules will result in not only your forfeiture of your payment fee, but most assuredly your life.
I love a fair fight.
As do
And,
we all.
Yeah, she'll head on over.
Okie dokie. I have a map as you are sent down into below towards the fighting pits with your 50 gold paid. And this time, I know I screenshotted these literally today, so it should be very easy to pull them up. Unless it's Big Dumb, which entirely it could be. No, it's not. There we are. The boar pit.
oh shit.
Yes. So, Jasper, you are led down from the common room into a kind of like a waiting area. There is a pool of water, and you can see towards your right a hallway that leads to two doors. One that has Audric Satorn placard on it, and the other one that says Boon Ludwig Khazar.
Okay.
What are the S's?
What are the S's? Don't you worry about that.
Oh, slave.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. It is something
I'm not
that's,
worried at all.
In and out of character. It's something that we're not going to be using in this one. So, as you head down into that area, let's pan away over to Jove. Jove, roll me a persuasion check as you schmooze and try to make yourself one with the bloody boar.
Right. Persuasion. Come on. A 13 for a 12.
13 for 12. What information are you looking for, bud?
Specifically, he's just trying to figure out, like, he wants to approach it as, like, he's gathering information to place good bets, but he's really trying to focus in on Boone and figuring out, like, you know, stuff like, how long has it been fighting here? You know,
Why his skin do that stone thing?
Yeah, how come he looks different than other dwarves that he's seen? You know, if anybody has seen him out and about, or is he like just kind of that kind of stuff. So trying to be sort of sneaky, like he's just trying to make sure he makes a good bet, and he would ideally try and find some halflings and get this information from them. But if that's not the case, then he would go with who he could and be getting more information both on Boone and Audric, but really focusing on Boone.
With your 13, you do find another halfling, one who's kind of seated at a high bar stool, and you take a seat next to him, order a drink. Go ahead and mark a gold off.
Do?
As you drink and you talk, ask a couple questions. You learn with a 13 that Boone Ledwa-Khazar is the season's reigning champion. He's been doing this for about the better part of a year, give or take. Currently undefeated, known as the Stone Dwarf, and with a bit of festering, due because of his clan's lineage. The Ledwa-Khazars are natives to the Falling Star Mine at the Earthspur Mountains, and the rumors have it that the clan back in the day were bound with elemental spirits, and that's why their skin is rocky. But that's just what they say.
And does he have I know like some champions like to go out and be with the people after they're done and have drinks and people dote on them. Like, is he that kind of champion, or is he all business, comes crush heads and then goes back and does his thing?
Roll me on the persuasion check.
That is just a flat 10 list.
A flat 10. Not that halfling has seen. The only time he ever sees Boone is when he fights. However, if you want to meet Audric Satorn, he comes and carouses after every single win.
Okay, that's valuable information. Thank you.
Absolutely. Before we swap back to Jasper, Freddy and Rornak, what would you like to do?
You can go ahead.
Rornak. I'm wondering if Rornak has the stomach for a drink. Let's roll on that, actually. Rornak.
I actually want to talk to Rornak. I just came up with something. So I had this idea. There's probably a rule against helping people with magic. So here's the plan. We bet money on not one of the headline fights, but one of the smaller fights. I'm gonna give the money to you. And I'm gonna place a smaller bet on someone who's favored, and then cast magic on them and get them disqualified, and then you get a big payout. Eh?
So let me get this straight. You want me to place a big bet on somebody, and then you're going to use a trick on someone else. Correct.
Disqualified, giving you the payout.
What are the chances that they find out that you're using magic?
Probably pretty high. I feel like they're on the lookout for that. Also, I can make it
This
obvious.
seems like it's mostly going to be a problem for me.
Well, they don't know that you're involved, do they? You're just going to be getting a payout.
They will know that I made a big payout on this, however.
Well, don't bet like 1,000 gold, and I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
It's something to think about. We don't have to do it right away. I just wanted to make sure that we all knew that this was
How
an opportunity
exactly
that
are
we
we are we splitting this here?
Oh, I don't care. You can keep it. I just think that it's fun to cheese the system, man.
Yeah, you know, cheese, a little bit of the system in ya.
Get what you can get when you can get it, or whatever the fucking Mo Masters say.
Take what you can when you can. Because who knows if
Same thing.
tomorrow's promised.
There is something to that.
Go get
Well,
your
one
your
thing.
drink.
Nope.
Maybe get some courage in you.
Rordak looks at you. Takes a second. No big bets, okay? I'm not going to jail for you. And he goes off to go get a drink.
Rornak, roll me a constitution save as you have your drink.
Much better. That's an 18.
An 18? Yeah. You're not sure exactly what the ale that's served here is. It really tastes more like water than anything else. And boy, is it just really easy to drink down.
Nice. Nice.
Excellent. As Rornak and Freddy talk about perhaps pulling a con on the Bloody Boar, as Jove speaks with the halfling companion, learning a little bit more about the Stone Dwarf and Audric Satorn, we'll return back down to you, Jasper. Oh, alright. We won't be back to Jasper. Never mind. Fuck whatever we were doing there. Hell.
Jove did want to put a bet on Jasper, like when she signed up to fight. I don't know if the newbies can be bet upon, but Jove
You
did
indeed
want to do
can.
that.
You indeed. How much would you like to put on Jasper?
Oh, you know what? Jove trusts his girl. He's gonna drop a 100 gold.
100 gold.
Count out the stack.
So, 25. Audric. 100 gold. On Jasper. Gotcha. Yeah, you receive a writ. You do notice with your high perception that many of the individuals working for the Bloody Boar don't carry swords or knives. They carry what appear to be cudgels. Almost like large mallets.
Strange.
It is rather strange, especially in a place like this. You're used to seeing them, you know, especially big shows of force, you know, have the big guy with a battle axe in the corner, you know, have, you know, the fast guy with the fast swords, but all of them seem to all use cudgels.
And for the patrons of this place, does it all look like the rabble, or do we see any kind of more, maybe not full on nobles, but maybe some people that are a little nicer looking making bets as well?
You see that there, while there are no shortage of individuals of ill repute, there are a number of, while some of them do not make any intention of hiding their noble status. You could tell by their fine clothing, their clean skin, the entourage that they move around with, that there are indeed members of the nobility here, though some are more deft at hiding it. You do know that there is, for a cover fee of 5 gold, there is an upper area, some kind of like a balcony above the fighting pit that looks directly down into it, where you can see mostly well-dressed individuals are up there, along with what appears to be a third bar.
Beautiful. Well, I'll have my 100 gold bet on Jasper and go back and get myself a thinned out beer and enjoy the fights.
Yes, Jove, you don't need to make a Constitution saving throw. You're pretty sure this is mostly water. So, we return back down to the fighting pitch. Jasper, you've returned.
Yes.
So, you head down from instructions from Devmari and look through. You can see that there's a pool of water here, and the entryway leading down to what appears to be Audric and Boone's personal rooms. However, you also see a number of other individuals, mostly humans. However, the ones that do catch your eye appear to be 3 individuals. While many, you see some people are rocking like leathers. Other individuals are, rocking closer to like chainmail. One individual seems to only be in robes. You do see 3 individuals, each with a different color kind of adorned to them. One red, one yellow, and one green. One has what appears to be a large clawed gauntlet. Another has a large maul. And the third one appears to have a bunch of different wineskins attached to them. And as they're all kind of conversing, you see a 4th one enter over who has one large pike. They seem more experienced than the rest of the individuals in the gladiator, in the boar pit.
I think she's gonna walk over to the more experienced looking one.
Yeah.
And just for clarification, currently Jasper is wearing her mask.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she'll approach this individual and say, "You seem like you know what you're doing."
Yeah, that's fucking right. You seem like you're new to this.
Well spotted. I came in here last night and saw some dandy trounce a bunch of losers and felt the need to get in on this on myself so I could show that bastard what for.
You're talking about that fucker Audric, huh?
Yeah, that was his name.
That guy's a total bastard. Slimy to the fucking core. He'll fucking stab his companions to take the pot. Fuck. Here's to you, kid. I hope you can fucking make it happen.
I appreciate that. You got a name?
Oh. Well, it's not really me. It's, us. We're the Fangs of the Chimera. And you can see, red, green, and yellow. And not too far away from you see what appears to be a goat, like a bloody goat head, another like lion's head. You see like what appears to be a small like drake skull. As the other kind of seasoned fighters come and kind of raise a hand towards you. You are currently talking with the one with the large claws.
Gotcha.
What about you? You got a fighting pit name? It's not really a good thing to get to know everyone's real name, considering there's a very good chance that we will be fighting and we will be actively trying to kill you. No offense, but we're here to win.
Yeah, I hadn't put too much thought into it. I don't know. Maybe I should let one of my senior members, I don't know, what do I look like to you?
You look like a shadow to me. I mean, all black and gray armor, like a shadow axe. That's got a cool ring to it.
Shadow Axe. You got away with words.
Before I got into this whole fighting bit, there was a point in my life that I thought I might be a scholar, maybe even a poet, but, ink is expensive and blood is cheap.
Well put. Yeah, you know what? Shadow Axe it is. Got a good ring to it. Flows off the tongue nice.
Well, nice to meet you, Shadow Axe, If I see you on there, I promise, I'll make it real quick. Ain't that right, boys? We'll make it quick. We don't do that suffering shit like Audric, huh? I see all kind of raise different weapons.
Thanks, boys. Likewise. I move fast, so don't worry too much about that.
Yeah, just watch when fucking Dandy Pants over there comes for his drink from the pool. Every single time, right before a match, does this big swagger out of here. Wish it'd be more like fucking Boone. Now that's a dwarf who doesn't mix words.
Yeah, I saw that motherfucker crack a skull wide open in one swing, so, respect to him.
Now, there's a reason he's the fucking champion. Undefeated, a whole season. Never been done before. I don't know if there's any bastard in here strong enough. That's why they only have him start doing the real big fights now. That orc, if that's not the last humanoid we see go against Boone, I would be fucking surprised. They're only gonna pull out the nasty stuff for him.
Yeah, well, no fucking surprise to me.
As this happens, you can hear kind of some movements, guards calling out for the beginning of the fights, and you see an individual exit through wearing fine styled leathers, perfectly fitted clothes, like big open, like puffy shirts, like the whole just everybody's storybook idea of what like a swashbuckling gentleman would be. Like big hats, hair coiffed back, like rapiers at the sides, strolls in with like a full swagger. It's like he touches each side of the wall with his shoulders, but his feet stay in a straight line as he saunters over. Ah! Another group of ne'er-do-wells come to fall by my blades. Hello, ruffians, ne'er-do-wells, and pissants. Move so that the next champion may take my drink. And you see a number of individuals move to the side as he saunters on over and grabs with his own kind of like big, gaudy. Think of like, you got your crunk cup. Like it's like a tanker that's got a bunch of like gems and dumb shit all over in it. Completely gaudy, and he goes in and gets a thing of the water. Yes, refreshment before winning. Is there anything better? Ha! No! As he finishes drinking from the pool and begins to head, you can see that the map doesn't describe it as well, but there are hallways that lead from one side to the next to the many kind of different portcullis gates. As he begins to head towards his gate, and there's kind of this quietness afterwards, and one of the things come here is like, fucking tool.
It's so much worse than I ever thought possible.
And there's just kind of this like laughter and, just grunting, barbed insults thrown back and forth. What was kind of a hostile between the different kind of fighters that are there eases at least in a joint hatred for Audric Satorn.
You know what? When that dude bites the dust, drinks are on me.
Fucking, you all heard it here. When that fucker bites the dust, anyone still alive, drinks are on Shadow Axe. So, we'll pan out. As this conversation is happening, you see Devamari closes up kind of the shop, the table is removed, the bedding begins to close down as individuals start to take seats People start to crowd over by the fighting pit, and you see a woman in all black leathers, shaved head, matted hair, big hat, tons of jewelry on, begins to take her seats at the throne. This individual, for the rest of you, you know as Darmov, Gethmedra Darmov, the owner, proprietor, and leader of the Bloody Boar, and begins to sit upon her throne. All right, you fucking heathens, shut your fucking gobs and let's get to it. And there's kind of a big roar for a minute as people cheer and yell out curses and insults as you all kind of begin to take your seats. All right, here's how today's gonna fucking go. First off, we're gonna start with some high and mighty powers. The fucking dandy of the pits himself, Audric Satorn, taking on a new challenger. Afterwards, we're gonna have our newbies, our fresh new blood, come in and see if they can keep all their insides on the inside. The winners of tonight will move forward, be invited back. We've got our Release the Beast competition coming forward, led over by the one, the only, Stone Dwarf. And as soon as she says Stone Dwarf, the crowd just goes, Stone Dwarf. Stone Dwarf. I knock that shit right on off. He's not fighting tonight, so keep it in your fucking pants. Let's get this fucking bloody show on the board, shall we? And there's a big cheer. Can I have everyone except for Jasper roll me perception checks?
$17.
Passive 11.
Passive 11.
17 as well.
17. All of you, including you, Freddy, see Devamari get up from beside the throne and begin to kind of move throughout the crowd. You all recognize Freddy from your training, and Jove and Rornak from seeing Freddy do it so many times. The incantations, the hand movements of Detect Magic. As Devamari openly casts Detect Magic and begins scanning the crowd, as you can hear the portcullises begin to raise.
I'm gonna, when I notice that, I'm going to, because I assume I noticed that, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm gonna-
You know the Detect Magic, like sigils and cantrips, like by heart.
Yeah. I'm going to position myself as in between her and Jove as I can.
You do, absolutely. There is, while there is a good number of people, there's plenty of individuals who are fully focused on the fighting pit, so you're able to slide right in between. Her, do you mean like Devamari, or do you mean Darmov?
The one doing Detect Magic.
Devamari, got it.
Because I'm allowed to look magical.
Trying
He
to
is
hide behind
completely
as
fine.
much of Jove as possible, though.
What?
Are you trying to hide, like, behind
No,
Jove?
I'm trying to hide Jove.
Oh,
Putting up a screen for me.
Because I'm
Gotcha.
allowed to look magical. Jove is not allowed to look magical legally.
gotcha. I thought you did it the other way around. I was
No.
like, what? I'm sorry.
In between her and Jove, yeah.
So you position yourself between. Remind me, what objects do you have on you currently, Freddy?
I have my, I'm just going to do magical. Staff of Charming. I don't think the +1 rapier is magical.
No, it is not. It's just finely made.
I have the harp, the instrument of illusions, and my spell book are pretty much
Gotcha.
my magic stuff.
You position yourself in between, and as you do, you can tell that Devamari eyes kind of, or at least what you assume where their eyes are, kind of snap and look at you, and begins making their way over. Slowly, not quickly, just kind of moving through the crowd. You see a couple different places, looks over at one individual and the next, and slowly but surely moving towards your way. As this is happening, the portcullis gates open up, and you see what appears to be a young, kind of sailor-looking individual. He's got to be maybe 20, 21, enters from one gate. On the opposite gate, you see one of what we know as players to be one of the Fangs of the Chimera. An individual with the dragon head comes out with a large kind of maul. On one side! And you hear kind of this, kind of almost seems magically induced. A large voice comes out. On one side, the Super Sailor! And you hear just kind of this just jeering cackle from the crowd. Fucking Super Sailor, Super Sailor! You see a number of like drinks are thrown out towards like the pits. Lots of jeering. And on the other side, representing the dragon head of the Fangs of the Chimera. And the individual holds up their maul and raises it high. And as they do, the crowd begins to cheer, and there's a as the maul itself begins to light itself on fire. The Super Sailor pulls out what appears to be a net, like a modified like harpoon. Looks more like a sphere. As the crowd begins to watch these two individuals circle each other, the dragon head, Fang of the Chimera, which we're just going to refer to dragon head, save me some words, moves around. They kind of circle each other, and the dragon head charges forward. The sailor throws the nets, and as it's coming forward, you see the dragon head catches it with the maul, and it wraps around the maul, and immediately the fire begins to burn at the net as he tries to throw it off. The sailor takes this opportunity to run in and gets like a quick spear wound straight up through the right shoulder before backing off. The dragon head gets the net off of it, like the maul still burning on fire, and begins to close in through. You can hear cheering. You can see a bit of blood beginning to like dot the pits as he closes in closer and closer. There's a couple of big overhand maul strikes that narrowly miss this like sailor. They strike against the ground, and you can hear large thump, thump, even amongst the roar of the kind of crowd, as they get only more and more bloodthirsty, as the sailor is able to get a few more like small stabs in before being backed up against one side of the arena. He tries to jump to the side, but is immediately caught by a side swing of the maul, and you hear a sickening and the smell of burned flesh as part of the sailor's like armor begins to light on fire from the strike. He begins to immediately try to rip it off, dropping the spear, and in this kind of moment of panic at being burned, the dragon head closes in, and with one overhead, drops the sailor to a huge cheer as people start screaming, "Finish him!" Ah! The drinks are being thrown. Other people begin groaning, "You fucker, you cost me money!" As it like runs out to the crowd, as the dragon head like turns towards the crowd and lifts up the maul and does like an impersonation of like a dragon's like roar. Just screams out at the crowd, and let's see how they do. A good number of individuals return like the same kind of like roar. Joe, for you seeing this, it's about the silliest thing you've ever seen. There's just something about the fake dragoness of it that just sits really ill with you. And you can hear Aquila kind of scoffing in your mind's eye.
Yeah, he has a smug laugh into his cup, just like pedestrian.
Watching this individual in this kind of like faux Drake mask as they kind of look to the crowd, and then give a nod, and then turn back to the sailor, and with one final swing, crushes in the head of this sailor before leaving the maul on and waiting a few moments before the body begins to burn. And the smell of like burned flesh begins to kind of emanate from the fighting pits as he raises them all once more to a cheer from many of the individuals at the Bloody Boar, and you hear Dharma. Well, fucking look at there. Super Sailor didn't fare well against the Dragon Head. Surprise, surprise. Dragon beats Sailor. Congratulations. As the Dragon Head kind of takes a short bow, regales to the audience with one final kind of roar before heading back into the portcullis. Jasper, from your side of things, it's a very short amount of time as you see the sailor and the dragon head walk out towards their portcullis gates. All you really hear is a large cheer, one loud thud, a second one, and then a third cheer. And only 2, maybe 3 minutes later, you see the dragon head walk back in, and the rest of the fangs cheer and give a high five and bump their chests together and all right. You can see immediately the individual with all like the different like oils and different like wineskins on them goes and takes one of them and pours it on the maul and douses the flame off of it with some sort of flame retardant oil, and the maul finally stops burning. You can see like it's already kind of like blackened, parts of it have kind of like started to melt. Shit. Good thing you won tonight, bud, or I'll just have to buy you another maul. As they begin to kind of patch up and deal with the various spear wounds. It's a short moment afterwards. An individual wielding a cudgel goes, are you fucking, what's it have on here? Shadow Axe? Is that what you're going by?
That's me.
Alright, your fight's up next. Head to portcullis number, and kind of looks at his note. Whose handwriting is this? 4.
No problem. Slide on over.
Absolutely. You head on over towards portcullis gate number 4. And you wait and you can hear the number of the crowds kind of roaring, that excitement building up. It's kind of like a dark, small like set of stairs that lead up towards the portcullis into it. You kind of have a moment in the shadows with yourself.
Yeah, I think once she's alone, her like hands start to tremble a bit. She's like, just whispers to herself, "What the fuck are you doing, Lapis?" And she'll offer a small prayer to Mask and just shake herself out a bit, equip the shield, and yeah.
The portcullis gate opens as you walk out. You can see towards the center of this that large statue without any with these open eye sockets, what appears to be 2 sunstones in each hand, in front of like a small fire, and like little what appears to be like iron boxes, like almost iron cages underneath with a number of bottles in them. You hear a voice ring out. On one side, the Rabid Rogue! And peering over to the other side, you can see what appears to be an individual in a bunch of different kind of animal, like skins and leathers, appears to be wearing some sort of hide armor, all sorts of stuff. You see one part that looks like it could be from like a cow, another one that's like rats, another one that could be dogs, another one that could be like what might have been a wolf at some point. Just this tattered, just clusterfuck of different furs along the individual, as they have one like large mace in which you can see to be a heavy crossbow strapped to like through the like behind them, and then a voice on the other side goes, "And on this side, Shadow Axe." Go ahead and give me a performance roll as you hear your
Sure.
fighter name called.
Not amazing. 8.
You like raise up a shield, and then you're like, that's not enough, and you go for the axe, and it kind of gets stuck for a second. You pull it out and wave it up, and Freddy, Rornak, and Jove, you see this, and for you guys, you know in this moment that is not Jasper down there, that is Lapis. As it kind of goes on, and there's a couple of, got your axe stuck there, bud? Cheer out from the crowds. There's a slight kind of shake before I ask you to roll initiative.
Alrighty. Shit. 5.
You're going second.
Yeah.
This individual, so let's bring up the map. You are in number 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is the top right portcullis. You can see that there are 8 slats in here. The top right one is where you're at. The bottom left is where this individual, the rabid rogue, is. And he goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And gets kind of towards towards like the statue. And you can see that instead of wielding the mace, he's pulled out the heavy crossbow, and you hear him fire a shot in your direction. Ooh, that is going to be an unnatural 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You take 5 points of piercing damage, as no sooner does the fight starts, you're almost like, there's not like a warning bell or a ding or somebody saying, "Ready, go!" As soon as you're done, as you're like still trying to like do a performance to the crowd, kind of waiting for like the bell to ring, immediately runs and pops out the side of the statue, and you feel a bolt like bed itself into your arm before you quickly knock it off.
That's his turn, I assume.
Yes, that is indeed his turn. He is 30 feet away.
Yeah, she'll make a sprint dead towards him, and just whip the axe out and make a big overhead swing at him.
Let's see it.
Oh, for fuck's sake! 8.
An 8. He sees this overhead coming and moves up against the side of the statue, and you drive the battle axe deep into the ground of the fighting pit.
She's gonna utilize mobile to get around the other side of the statue. And just wait there. Yeah.
As this kind of opening bout goes on, Freddy, even with your vast perception, you feel someone step up behind you, and you hear a voice. A cloak in the fighting pits. Interesting. I hope you're enjoying yourself. As Devamari comes up behind you.
How'd you know I was a cloak?
This isn't my first time finding a cloak in the fighting pits. I have my ways.
What if I'm just an illegal?
Well, why would I care?
I don't know. Maybe you're in the bad boys.
As
Wow.
long as you keep your magic to yourself and out of the fighting pits, we have no problem with the cloak enjoying tonight's entertainment.
Enjoy I shall. You have my word as a cloak. And I wink at her.
You're not sure what the reaction is back because they're wearing a mask, but they continue to kind of move through the crowd. Back to the fighting pits. As this individual moves to the other side, drops the heavy crossbow and pulls out the mace. They run on over to where you're at, around, and try to take a swing at you. Nope, that's only an 11. The second one is a 10.
Yeah, they don't do shit. They hit against her breastplate and she doesn't even flinch.
Just dink. He's almost kind of taken back for a moment after the first one strikes, and you don't move at all. In fact, if anything, you let the statue take the reverb from it, and he brings in the mace again for a second time, and bink, no effect. As he kind of looks at you, and you can tell that this individual is probably in their late 20s, maybe early 30s at most. Underneath all these weird leathers and such, you actually see a clean-shaven face, and a rather wild, but not frenzied look in the eye. More of anything. Give me an insight check.
Sure. God damn, my die are betraying me right now. 4.
Oh, this dude's trying to murder you for sure.
Yeah.
So, your move.
Alright. Gonna take another swing with the battle axe. Oh my god. That would have been good if I hadn't slided off the table. Sweet Jesus. 10.
Yes.
A 10. This time, you swing back to try to connect, and he ducks, and it just barely misses the top of his head. Shoo.
She's gonna use mobile to disengage, and she's going to sprint around the statue and essentially end up on his other side. Just using her surprising speed to throw him off a bit.
He is definitely surprised as you appear on the other side.
And that'll be her turn.
As he tries to move from one side of the statue, swings over to the other side to try to connect with you. Nope. That one maybe. Will a 17 do?
Just misses. She raises her shield just in time.
Yeah, this one, the first one, swings wide, and carries the momentum, and you see it's about to strike right underneath your breastplate towards, your pelvis, and you're able to get the shield down and knock down the mace. Your move.
Okay. It's a 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
Okay. Finally something. Where's my D8? That is 10 damage slashing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that your axe is finally made purchase in this individual, you cut through the hide like it's paper and make a deep cut on this individual, going from kind of their shoulder down across the front of their chest as they kind of cry out from the pain of it. Jasper, make me a performance check after successfully making that hit.
14.
A 14. Yeah, you make this and you kind of flourish the axe out, finally getting it. You can feel the blood just slide right off of your onyx battle axe, and the crowd cheers, seeing this first bit of blood from the bouts. As you can hear people starting to cheer you on. Shadow Axe! As that is going on, Jove, You feel someone take a seat at the bar kind of next to you. An interesting amount of magical items for a halfling. As you see that individual in the blast mask, Devamari, has taken a seat next to you.
Well, you might can tell I'm not from round these parts.
And why would that be? Because you're a halfling? Or because you're a
Well,
ranger?
I would say a little bit of both. Haven't met too many halflings out here in Mulemaster, at least not ones that are, the toadies for somebody else. But yeah, don't you know, you're right that I'm a ranger. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. You obviously have something going on here. If it's worth anything, I'm not just some unaffiliated individual going about here and there. I am a summer strider with the Emerald Enclave, so I am represented.
Strange to find a summer strider or an emerald enclave inside the city. Not much nature in Mulemaster.
Yeah, well, there's a good bit of nature around Mulemaster, and see that's the thing that people always get mixed up about the Emerald Enclave. It's about a balance, It's not all about going around and dancing around in prairies, but it's making sure that things are in the rightful place. And from the Emerald Enclave's perspective, well, we won't want to see Mulemaster expand beyond and completely destroy the natural habitat that's beyond these castle walls, these city walls. And likewise, we wouldn't want to see anything coming from the flooded forest or Earthspur Mountains or what have you come over and overtake this city. So, we do love our nature, but civilization obviously has its place and its comforts. I'll take a big swill out of his drink.
You should consider joining the fighting pits. We will be having a beast fight night in the coming days. You seem to be well equipped for dealing with beasts.
Well, I must say you have caught my attention. What sort of beasts are we talking? Magical beasts or these all sorts of natural beings?
I guess you would have to find out, Summer Strider.
Maybe I just will. Now tell me, what night is this beast fight you speak of?
Tomorrow.
Huh. Well, you might just see somebody named Joe signing up for that. Do you have a name that I can call you?
Devamari. I will be seeing you, Summer Strider. And a word of advice. Keep your magics out of the pit. You reek of it. You see, he gets up, nods to you, doesn't shake your hand, doesn't give you any sort of kind of warmth, just stands and begins to move the crowd. You can just ever slightly see on the kind of the sides of the mask that little bit of glow that comes with detect magic.
And
This one, same kind of light blue.
Joe kind of turns into his cloak and gives it a couple of sniffs. That's normal. Fine. I don't know what he's talking about. Orders up another beer.
As you do. Returning back into the fighting pits. It is.
I haven't quite finished my turn.
Absolutely. What you
Before
got?
he even looks up from the wound I've made from him, I'm gone and circled all the way around the statue again on his other side, and end my turn there.
The rest of you, as you're watching this, you can see that Jasper is just speeding around this individual. Like 1 second she's on her right, then the left, moving through towards around the statue. For you guys, it is a pretty typical show of speed from Jasper. For the rest of the individuals here, they are having a blast watching how fast she moves from one side to the other, jumping in from shadow to shadow almost. appearing in this individual's shadows, living up to the name Shadow Axe. As he is going to try, he stops using the maul and begins to run to where he dropped the crossbow. You go ahead and make an opportunity of attack if you'd like.
Yes, I would. Unfortunately, only a 12.
A 12 does hit.
Oh, sweet. That's what you get for wearing furs, bitch. 11 slashing.
Yeah, you absolutely match the wound on the front with one on the back. You feel if you cut any deeper, you might be able to make the two sides meet inside him. And as he runs and cries out from that, stumbles over, grabs the crossbow, and takes a shot at you with the bolts. 18?
Just hits.
The bolts pierce the side. This one is going to do 9 points of damage. And this one catches right in the breastplates, like right towards like the armpit area, like right where the armor stops. You can feel it pierce into that sharpness. You're like, taste a little bit of that blood that comes through. And is now your move.
We're gonna bonus action second wind.
Take a moment and breathe deeply. Pull out the bolt from your armpit.
Not great. Only a couple hit points for that one. She's gonna just let out a bit of a war cry and like chop the like end of the arrow off with her axe and run at him for another swing.
Let's see it.
23 to hit.
That will do.
Another 10.
How do you want to do this?
I think she's going to, Ooh, how does she want to do this?
Yeah,
I think she's gonna, like, while he's loading his crossbow, just give a big old side swipe into his shoulder and just remove the arm.
There's just this kind of stunned look this individual has as like they're loading it and they like just get the bolt pulled back when you take the arm and the bolt fires forward into like the side of the ground and it kind of looks at you. You see all the color pull from their face as the like eyes leave and their body is just kind of like.
I'm gonna kick him over.
Roll me a performance check.
Yeah. So with a 17 performance over his, like, now that he's keeled over, she's gonna pull out a one of her throwing daggers, put it right at the center of his sternum, and with the flat end of her axe, just hammer it in.
In a brutal display, you perform the act, and the crowd erupts into cheers, louder than the last bout. You can hear cries of "Shadow X! Shadow X!" as a number of drinks and what appears to be coins get thrown into the fighting pits. And the crowd is just beginning to eat it up as you perform this final move. You pull back your dagger, flick the blood off of it, and the portcullis for number 4 opens back up again.
Yeah, if there's coins being tossed in, she'll collect them and do her best to maintain composure from the wounds and saunter out.
You find 10 copper pieces, 2 silver pieces, and 1 gold piece.
Okay.
As you
Joe
head
definitely wants to.
Yeah, go for it, Jove.
I was just gonna say, Jove wants to collect on that 100 gold bet that he made on Jasper. By the
Since
by.
opening bout, you receive 250 gold pieces.
Ooh wee!
And as you head into the portcullis, you look up Jasper, and looking down at you is Darmov, who has a kind of a cocked smile to the side and nods at you as you enter into the portcullis. You head back down around towards the pool, and there the Fangs of the Chimera see you and... Ah, Shadow Axe!
Hey, boys.
Good first
Told you I
bout.
came here for blood.
Yeah, you fucking did. Can still see it on you. Good job.
Thank you. I hope this is a sign of things to come.
Oh,
Anyone want a fucking drink?
Well, Audric's not dead, but a drink? I think we can manage that, right, boys? And they're like, oh, wait, I still have a fight to do. Oh, yeah. The rest of us!
We'll be cheering you on then.
You see, it's the individual with the goat head, and like the large pike. Oh, okay. Drink afterwards? Ah! Don't die, idiot! Well, you don't die. I already did my fight. Oh yeah. Nice. They all kind of like do like a group headbutt, knock each other one real quick, and so the Fangs of the Chimera, the dragon and lion head head up with you.
Nice.
As they go and join you for drinks. As you are leaving back up into it, you are given a winning amount of gold, where you are given your 50 gold back and given another 50 gold for 100 altogether.
Cool.
As you go back up to eat, you can see, you can hear Audric, his voice kind of echoing. So now it is time for a real fight. As it echoes through the portcullis, and you just hear kind of coming kind of wafting down through the hallway. What sounds like a stone smashing against stone for just a moment, and idiots kind of rings out through it. As you enter up through back into the Bloody Boar.
I'll head on over to the bar and make good buying the boys something stiff, but not like hyper fancy. Just whatever they give their winning fighters.
Yeah, you go up and roll me just a d20.
Sure. 10.
A 10. Okay. 4. A 10. Oh, come on, give me my table. You get what is the fighting pit equivalent of Fireball. It is a cinnamon whiskey that cuts through the taste of blood in the mouth. You can see it comes from kind of like a big copper like decanter. It pours out, and the cinnamon is just immediately like through the blood, sweat, drinks, urine, and other smells of the bloody pit. Like you can smell that, and you see the dragon's head like takes his and shoots his immediately, followed by the lion's head as well. And they kind of look at each other, both go and look to you.
She'll do the same, only lifting her mask just, past her lips for her to be able to drink.
And they both look at you and go and kind of like flex their arms at you and everything.
she'll return it, and yeah, and she'll say, "To your boys fight."
To our boys fight! And they order another round. The next fight goes out. Another Fang of the Chimera, the goat-headed one. The individual that they go against appears to be a half-elven archer. On one side, one of the Fangs of Chimeras, the goat head, and on the other one, simply known as Archer. The fight is quick. It lasts all of a single round as the archer takes aim, looses an arrow. You see it drive deep into the wall, narrowly missing the goat head, who at a full charge runs straight forward and, using the actual goat head, headbutts this man straight in the jaw, knocking him clear over, prone, before driving the pike straight in. It's fast, it's messy, and the crowd begins to cheer. Even shorter than, the only fight shorter than this one would have been the Stone Dwarfs. As you can see, as the individual kind of pulls back, there's little bits of blood and teeth running down the goat head. The pike is deeply bloodied, pulls it out. No kind of fanfare, no like performance, just kind of runs up and goes, "Hey, I want that drink now." And you can see the other Fangs run over and like reach on down. And, like, "Can't reach you, it's too far. It's just reach larger." "No, you gotta reach out. Just come out to the park hut. I won the fight, didn't I?" And after a little bit, you can see a number of like cudgel wielders pull the Fangs back and tell him he comes back around. And they're, slight couple of cheers, but like there's no performance to it at all. It's just job done. Runs back up. "Oh, did I miss the drinks?"
she'll call. She already got one waiting for him, and she'll clap him on the shoulder, and says, "I gotta catch up with some buddies, but I wanted to congratulate you. Good work in there."
"Oh, thanks, Shadow X." And he goes, he takes and flexes at you.
She returns the gesture, and will make her way back to her companions.
Yeah, you make your way back to your companions. The rest of you all see Jasper after a couple moments at the bar. You see this very fast fight happen in front of you. For I think technically your party's all spread out. So who do you head to first?
Jove. She knows Jove bet on her, so she's gonna go sit by him.
Yeah.
Or stand by him, I suppose.
As Jasper approaches, Jove will just start chanting, "Shadow X, Shadow X, Shadow." And as she gets closer, Jove is just gonna have a handful of gold, and he's gonna say, "Open up your hand. Open up your hand, Jasper. Open up your hand, Jasper."
I'll hold out her hand.
and a tiny halfling hand full of gold, which isn't as much as you'd want it to be. Drop some loose coins. We'll call it 20 gold into your hand, and he'll fold it up and say, "Now that was some impressive stuff you did out there. Always knew that you were good on the battlefield, but didn't know you were quite that good of a performer. So thanks for making this a profitable day."
Well, thank you. To be honest, the nerves almost got to me, but once I got into the swing of things, it's not too different than anything else we've done so far.
Yeah, frankly, this is kid shit compared to some of the baddies we fought so far. So good on you for keeping it together, and yeah, hopefully you can be making me a little bit more money. In fact, I might be able to return the favor to you. Some person with a black mask on came over and knew that I was a ranger and that I had some magical items on me, so figured I couldn't be doing much of the whole lion thing. So they said, "Hey, come back and fight some beasts we have. Rangers are always welcome for that some sort of thing." So I break out some of my old moves and fight some fantastical beasts tomorrow night.
Perhaps we can make ourselves a dynamic duo. I gotta be honest, I always fight better with someone standing next to me.
Yeah, me too there, Jasper. Me too. Now, where'd the rest of the lot get off to? Joe's gonna kind of scan the
Um,
room.
your
Yeah.
eyes are much better than mine, Jove. You know that.
With your passive perception, Jove, you find you see Rornak over, the only individual with such a big hat and purple robes in the whole bar. And then, of course, you know where you see Freddy in his typical gear, standing not terribly far away from Rornak.
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess-
make our way over.
Round up the troops.
Yeah, the party all Rornak, Freddy, Jasper, and Jove pull you guys together, and you're all kind of at kind of where the lip of the fighting pit, looking down as the final bout of the night is starting to begin. You can hear people are, it's fucking the dandy. Yeah, I fucking hate that dude. I know. Did you see when he stabbed his partner last time? Right, they fought that whole thing together, got a whole double roper squad done, and then he fucking stabbed him. Yeah, that's good money made in that one. As he kind of whispers through the crowd.
Yeah, well, I believe Freddy and I have some money on this this douchebag, so might as well stick around and make that happen.
I'm always down to watch the headliner. Maybe afterwards I can tell y'all a little something I learned while I was here.
Indeed. It'll be hard to top your performance, Miss Shadow Axe, but I suppose we're already here. By the way, are we going to get you a third mask for Shadow Axe? I think it would work well.
I'd like for this image to, I don't know, strike a bit of worry and fear into certain hearts in this city. So, this is a good way to do that, I think.
Sounds like a calculated move, then. Sounds like it went well, too.
Yeah, this time anyway. There's good money to be made. Jove and I were actually talking about competing. I don't know if either of you are interested in that.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm really fucking scrawny.
Yeah, I didn't want to just extend the offer to Roynak and make you feel like I didn't know you were standing right here, so that's understandable.
I must say, it would be fun to test myself here against somebody. Are you talking about doing like a partner's battle, or me entering on my own?
Ideally together. I mean, I've seen a group fight here last night, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. Though I'm sure we'll have to double check on that one.
Yeah, I was approached by somebody. I was telling Jasper Rornak about a beast style fight that they've got going on. So I think I'm going to enter in that tomorrow night. And yeah, that individual, Freddy, some person came up, sat by me, and immediately read me as a ranger, and I think did that little blue-eyed trick that you do to spot the magical items I had on. So I don't think she was one of yours, because she just said, hey, come back tomorrow, fight in this fight, just don't use any magic down in the pit, which I don't think is entirely your guys' MO. I will say I did say that I was part of the Emerald Enclave, Summer Strider, all that good stuff, but yeah, just in case, yeah, definitely, these 5 pits aren't for you, Fred, because I have a feeling that they would know that you're casting before you even got your hands waving around.
Point of clarification for you, Jove. It's no
Yes.
magic used outside the pit to aid in the pits. Magic in the pit. Now that's a different story.
That is good to know. Okay, then
No
Joe feels
outside
much
magical
more-
assistance.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Makes for great gladiator fights.
Well, then scratch that. That was, I guess, my misunderstanding. Then I feel more than happy to be in there if I'm able to use a little bit of that magical juice that I got. Hell, Freddy, you might not do too bad yourself, but yeah, that's your prerogative. So, do you have a black mask person come talk to you, Freddy? That's what I'm getting at here.
And you know, Freddy, it might be beneficial to have someone on the outside to bet a sweet chunk of money on us, because I don't think we're gonna lose together.
Okay.
That's up to you, though.
I mean, I feel like it's not insider trading. It's just I know my friends are gonna win.
Yeah.
Although I feel like at this point the odds are gonna go down if the Shadow Axe is fighting with somebody, whereas if Jove and Rory here work together in a team fight, I feel like the odds would be higher if we're looking for a good payout.
You're wrong in that, but I don't know if you could tell, but fighting alone down there wasn't a fun experience for me. So if I do it again, I'd like to stand side by side with somebody.
Well, is it limited just to duos? Is there? I mean, if we could get all four of us down there, then I think we would be just about impossible to beat, frankly. But I don't know. Maybe we just need some more information on all that, and we can figure out how we split things up.
Yeah, you know, perhaps we can talk more about this at our job tomorrow.
As you say those words, you hear a voice rings out. All right, seen some great bouts today. Got to watch a man burn to death. Got to watch the birth of a new champion, Shadow Axe. And finally, well, par for the course, the fangs of the Chimera trouncing all. Good job, Goat. And everyone kind of looks over and you see the Goat is currently doing another one of the shots and kind of just does the whole thing towards the crowd. You see a bunch of other people do the same, kind of like putting their fists to get like side by side in front, like flexing at each other. But enough with the amateur squabbles. It's time to find a real champion. On one side, no name needed, only a first and last, Audric Satorn. And you see Audric comes out and, takes off the hat and does like a big bow. And you see he's got perfectly like coiffed hair, all underneath it, blonde, blue-eyed, puts the hat back on, does like a flurry of kind of slashes with like both rapiers, switching hands back and forth, and then with like one big kind of like flourish, has both of them like thrown up into the air before landing right by his feet. He picks them back up and sheathes them again. And whilst he is a buffoon, it does work very well. It's an incredible performance of swordsmanship. The fact that he didn't stab himself or drop any of the rapiers whilst basically juggling them in front of a crowd is actually pretty impressive. And on the other side, it would be unfair to any challenger to take a two-sworded man one-on-one. So, we have the twins! And coming from the other side, you see a pair of very stout-looking dwarves, each one holding what appears to be one half of what originally might have been one large battle axe, bladed on one side, like deep, dark red beards, all braided, wearing an identical set of clothing. The only real difference is one is adorned in gold, the other one is adorned in silver. As they enter in and they kind of lift their axes up together and kind of look around, and their showmanship is met by just jeers from the crowd. Rolling oh gosh, that's a 4 on the performance. They just kind of saunter out and look to the crowd and look back at Andrik and, with no fanfare, begin to rush towards him. They both go along different sides of the statue, meeting together at Andrik and trying to, almost like a pair of scissors, bring both axes on the sides of Andrik. And as they do, he pulls up both rapiers and ping ping, blocks both of them there and then moves them forward. And as he does, it wrenches the battle axes out of both of their hands. And he flips up the rapiers and makes 2 swift strikes, and then sheaves them once again. And he turns to the crowd and opens up his hands, and everyone's kind of stunned as they look back at the 2 dwarves, and they both look at each other for just a moment before you see a just opening both of their throats as the blood begins to pour out. And Andrik takes kind of a step to avoid the blood, goes up and grabs a little bit of like one of their shirt cloths and rips it off and quickly dusts off a little bit of his boots that have gotten dirty and, "Well, another one!" and takes a quick bow and waves the little bit of cloth like a little flag before daintily dropping it on his opponents. With one hand on his hip, the other goes towards the hat. He pulls it off and does one another grand bow towards the crowd, throws the hat back on and leaves. And instead of cheering, there's just a large amount of grumbling of, and well, still a victor in the fighting pits. Audric Satorn, everyone. The duelist himself. Thank you for your audience and patronage here at the Bloody Boar. That's it for the fights. Unless anybody's feeling like an unofficial bout. It kind of looks around. Just kidding. Keep it in your sheaths and keep your fists unballed. Return back tomorrow for Beast Fight Night, where our very own Stone Dwarf will be encountering the greatest beast that he's ever encountered. And successors in tomorrow's bouts will be able to join this season's champion in what may very well be his final fight. Find glory and find gold. Good night. As she steps off of the throne, is immediately met by a number of like cudgel-wielding individuals, ranging from half-orcs to like large humans, stout dwarfs, lithe-looking elves, just a total just menagerie of individuals wielding these kind of cudgels as she heads back and goes up to the nicer parts of the Bloody Boar and mingles in with the those willing to pay 5 gold pieces to be in kind of that area. Devamari, not far behind her. You can all kind of see, especially you, Joe, with your passive perception, that the blue light from behind the mask has faded. She joins them as they go up the steps towards the nicer area. The Bloody Boar, while the fights are off, the bar is still Raj. You can see individuals now begin buying drinks. People go to collect their winnings. The 125 pieces paid for Audric is returned, and you are paid another 125 for 250.
Okay.
The fights continue. Drinks are had. The night is once again yours.
How much did I get?
You got, it was 125 gold pieces. 1 to 1.
Okay. Wait, isn't that how much we
25
bet?
of that was
You
mine.
bet,
Yeah.
and then you got 125 back. You're betting on a champion. The odds are not great.
On top of what we already.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So in total we got 2. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You want to split that even?
No, 100 of that was yours, so that's your money. I'm not gonna take that from you. I won my own.
You all feeling a lot heavier with a good bit of coin. I think between the 3 of you guys just made on fighting pits and just betting a significant amount of gold, the better part of almost 500. I think like closer
Yeah.
to 400.
Holding 500.
Yeah, whole thing 500. Well done in some betting.
Yeah. Jasper's gonna keep her eye on the several bars and see if Audrek makes an appearance at all.
Oh, no sooner is it over, you see Audric is heading up towards like the nicer bar and like waves past, doesn't pay the gold, saunters on up there. You know, you can hear the like. It almost sounds like he's got spurs in his boots, like plink, 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 as he goes up the steps, and you can hear him. So, how was it seeing a real duelist? Better than those amateur fights with those fangs, am I right?
She's gonna turn to the others and say, I got some business. Don't feel obligated to wait up for me if I take too long. And she's gonna pay the 5 gold and follow him up there.
You do. You turn back to that upstairs bars. Whilst Jasper's heading that way, the rest of you, when we switch over to that, do you call it a night? Do you wait for Jasper?
Roar.
I leave.
Freddy, with gold in hand and getting the "Don't wait up for me, you got it, sis," and heads out with a fresh amount of gold in the pocket.
I'll see you on the milk cartons.
As Freddy
I don't know,
begins to
but-
head out into the night.
Well, feel free to do as you will, Jove. I might stick around and just make sure she gets back in one piece.
Well, Rornak, I'm glad to hear you say that because I thought I was going to have to warm this bar seat by myself. But, yeah, Jasper talks a tough game, but I want to be watching her back, too.
Yeah, I'm more than confident she can hold her own, but I'd rather be here in case something happened. Well then, we got a long night ahead of us. Better get another drink, right?
Jove will hold up his hands for 2 drinks and say, "First round's on me, friend."
Ah, such a saint you are.
Roll me a D100.
Okay.
Oh.
I got a 56.
56.
And I rolled 73.
56 and 73. You are given 2 drinks. Rornak, you are given what's called a cinder. It's a spiced cider served hot. And you, Jove, are given a brandy. It's called a Hag Raven. And it is the most bitter, just absolutely foul brandy you have ever had. It feels like somebody is actively stabbing you as you drink it. It is a hard drink. Please make me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. Rornak, just a regular Constitution saving throw.
Disad is going to be 10.
10? This hits you like a bomb, Jove, even with your drinking. You've had drinks with Crew Meg, and that's some fine dwarven whiskey. This is mean. This is like losing King's Cup, and it's only been a shit ton of different brandies in the middle of it. You get through it, but there's some parts that choke, and afterwards you feel just this hotness arising from your stomach. Rornak, what was your Constitution saving throw?
I rolled 11.
11. Hot drinks are a luxury from where you're from. You're used to things being on the colder side. And hot alcohol, this is a new one for you. It's not bad, and with an 11, and it just being like a hot cider, you keep it down just fine. It's just an odd experience. You're not sure if you like it or not.
Yeah, it's just new. You're still kind of figuring out, like, how do you even feel about it, you know?
You start thinking, you're like, wait, how did they heat this up? Where's the fire in here? As you kind of begin to ponder that, as you and Jove begin having drinks. Jove paying for the first round. Go ahead and mark off 2 gold. Jasper, you head up towards Andrik Satorn. You can see that there are a number of nobles here, some finer looking merchants. You can see towards like the corner, you can see Darmov is drinking away. You know, her kind of entourage there. Andrix Satorn is at the bar getting a drink, ordering the most expensive wine there. Throws just haphazardly like his night's winnings on the table and demands to never have an empty glass in front of him.
Yeah, she's gonna make her way to the bar, and when one of them is free, she'll say, double shot of something you only keep up here, and send a bottle of Satorn's favorite straight to him. Let him know it was from me.
You sure you can afford that?
I made a good amount of gold tonight, and bit of it's thanks to him, so, you know, it's just making good.
A whole bottle of Andrix's favorite. All right, 125 gold pieces, please.
Shift. All right.
Woohoo!
Hey, that was you. You did that.
Yeah, that's okay.
You,
God.
indeed, and his favorite drink, I look at my wine list, because of course he drinks wine.
Right.
Yes. Unsurprisingly, he prefers what is called blood wine. It's a heavy, deep red wine from Aglarond that has a very wicked rumor that the vines that make this wine are possessed by the spirits of cruel undead. Or at least that's what the stories go. It is incredibly expensive, especially in this part of the world. 100 gold pieces for a single bottle. And then for you, roll me a D100.
Okay. Uh, 89.
89.
Nice. 89.
89.
Oh, Mikey.
Okay.
You are poured a bright green double shot. It has the smell of fresh grass, anise, and mutton. It's a very strange combination. And the barkeep goes, right there. Double shot of the Lucky Leprechaun. Only for those with deep pockets and fine tastes.
I do indeed match that description. Thank you very much.
Would you roll me
And-
a Constitution saving throw?
Sure. 14.
14. You feel, as soon as this drink gets in you, that it is a very... It sticks to you more than you were anticipating. It looks like a liquid, but it goes down almost like a syrup. And as it does, you just feel just this strange amount of luckiness to you. You feel smooth. For the next hour, you have advantage on charisma checks.
Oh.
That is terrific to know. She's gonna wait to see Satorn receive his bottle and see him get, pointed out of the person who sent it to him. And she's just gonna give a nod and hold up her glass and cheers.
And Audrix Satorn saunters on over to you with his bottle of blood wine and... somebody who recognizes greatness.
Yeah, you can make a gal easy money in this place, so I figured I'd send some of my gratitude your way.
You're, one of the new fighters, aren't you? What do they call you? Dusk Dawn? Dusk Blade?
Nah, it's Shadow Mask. But
Shadow mask. Ah, because you're dressed in all black and with a mask. Oh, how pleasant.
yeah, I try to make it easy for some of the simpletons that frequent this place, but I don't take it you're a simpleton yourself.
Oh, well, you're a fine judge of character. What you're looking at is the greatest duelist to ever walk in Mulmaster and to ever set sail on the Moonsea. But I'm sure my reputation precedes me. I am, of course, the duelist first, a charmer second, and a gentleman overall.
It has indeed preceded you.
Indeed, such an easy bout. Two dwarves. Wish they'd give me a challenge. Beginning to bore myself here. Perhaps I need to look for finer fare. Perhaps I may finally grace the very streets of Waterdeep itself. Make a name of myself as there. Could go down to Sembia and turn the merchant lords on their ears with my fine swords display, or perhaps even go to Cormyr and put those purple dragonites to shame, wouldn't you think?
I have no doubt wherever you go, you'll make quite a show of it.
And he begins to pour himself deep glass, and you can see that this liquid, of course, he's got like a crystal wine glass, is deep and red and looks exactly like blood. He pours the whole glass, drinks the whole thing without dripping, like a single drop of wine dropping, like doesn't even have to wipe his mouth afterwards, and sets it down. And blood wine, nothing else like it. If it weren't for how dirty other people's blood were, I could have sworn I could probably drink it myself, but such petty blood.
Only the finest, right?
Of course. And he begins to pour himself another glass before you hear, Satarn, get your ass over here. We gotta talk real quick. And oh, of course. Let me make my way over there. I'll be right back. And saunters on over and begins to converse with Dharma for a moment.
Yeah, if he said he'll be back, she'll wait a while and see if he actually intends to make good on that.
The better part of 30 minutes goes by. You can see his drink is still there.
Oh, he left his drink here?
Indeed he did.
You know, if he's got his back to her, she'll make her move. And you're not presented with such an opportunity every fucking day, and yeah, she'll make that move.
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. She'll make like she's just trying to aerate his wine for him and bring it close to herself as if she's smelling it, and let's see how that goes. Fuck me. 6.
You go to wave your hand over and get the pale tincture into his glass. And as you're waving it, trying to not make it a big deal, you kind of look around as you do. Your hand smacks the glass in it. Ping, 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 ping. Psh, breaks in. Audric turns and... You absolute ponce. How dare you? I leave you with the responsibility of looking after my drink and you knock it over? You absolute cad.
I have a few drinks in. I'll make it up to you tomorrow. If you keep winning me money, you'll have a bottle waiting for you.
And he just kind of looks at you. Get yourself gone. I can't stand to look at you and waste such a fine bottle, regardless of whether or not you pay me now or later. Get yourself gone before I run you through for such an inconvenience.
Be seeing you, Aldrich.
and goes over and grabs another glass and like this big kind of huffy movement and pours himself another one and Dharma, make sure that she doesn't come back up here to bother me. And she kind of looks over and you catch eyes with her and she kind of like moves her head forward to tell you to scram and kind of kicks out to the side, points to the dudes with the cudgels, just gives you kind of a nod.
She'll put her hands up like, and no trouble here, and make her way down.
You make your way back down. Jove, Rory, better part of like half an hour, 45 minutes has gone by. And you see Jasper descend back into the base level of the Bloody Boar.
Well, glad to see you in one piece out here.
Yeah, I almost ended up in a fight, so glad I didn't.
Well, we had kind of a feeling that something like that might happen, which may or may not have been why we were down here warming these seats, but glad that you kept your hands to yourself this time.
Nah, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate you two sticking around. You're good friends.
No worries. Just wanted to make sure we didn't hear anything go on upstairs. But, well, I trust your judgment if something did go south. And he gives you a wink. But you can't see it.
Rory kind of turns his head to the side and you can kind of see the, like his jaw, whenever Rornak winks, he opens up his jaw. He can't do it without opening it up, so you see a little bit of a poke down.
Well, let's get some rest. We got work to do tomorrow.
Here.
You finish up the rest of your drinks, and you begin to head out of the Bloody Boar to your various places of rest. We're going to take a slight break right here. We're going to be back, let's shoot for 8 o'clock, no later, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. After a successful night at the Bloody Boar fighting pits, our adventurers return to what I will assume is the Goss Estates, the Tower of Arcane Might, Oxpit Tavern, and the House of Suffering for an evening's rest.
Mhm.
Yep.
Perfect. You all have a rest. Jasper a little sore, especially towards the armpit, but less sore than you have plenty of other nights after adventuring with your group. The sun begins to rise as you all make your ways from various places to the docks of Mulemaster, meeting up with your party before heading on to the Indigo Wings. You can see the kind of purple detailings of its, the bright gold, the bright purple letters, Indigo Wings, as it kind of bobs in the Bay of Mulemaster. Anything from the party before you guys head to work?
Freddie, have you thought any more about whether you wanna sit out and bet on the three of us, or wanna join in?
I mean, I feel like we need someone on the outside to bet, but it's up to
Yeah.
y'all who you think is gonna be the best choice for that.
Worry, do you wanna fight or do you wanna sit out?
If you were going in, I'm going in with you.
All right. And Freddie, I'm thinking if my options are win or die, then it doesn't matter how much gold I have in my pocket. So I'm gonna give you everything to bet on our victory.
Okay.
So once we get there, I'll hand you my my bag and yeah.
How much
Let you
gold
do
is
the
that by
betting.
chance?
That should be sorry, 616 gold.
616 gold. That's a lot of gold to bet.
Yeah, if I'm dying anyway, it won't matter if I lose it.
Points.
I'm currently holding on to 1,137 gold.
Yeah,
Jeez.
give me a. Can I hear the bank account statements for the rest of the party? Because I have not been keeping track of your gold. That was a
Was that
different
including
campaign.
mine, Freddy?
That was us together, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put mine at 0 then.
Jove, how much money do you have on you?
Sitting at 672 gold.
Nice. And Rornak?
I'm sitting at 622.
Okay, that's got about 600 gold on them. A good chunk of change after, what now, like 6 adventures? So, you have your
Oh, actually, I'm gonna need 50 of those, Freddy, if I'm gonna compete.
Ooh. Let me see if I got 50 for
I'll
you.
give you a short payday loan.
You little
an
shit.
interest rate of 60%.
Keep your 50 gold.
Paltry pocket money.
After exchanging some gold and talking about the evening, as you all are about to head on to the Indigo Wings, see Fergus and the rest of his crew, a rather well-dressed, what appears to be almost like a barker, comes up and says, hey, I'm looking for, looks at now, Fred Lapp of the Cloaks.
Yeah?
This is for you. And he hands you like a sealed letter. It's addressed to Corona Karamitru. It's got the seal of not just Astric Vaj, but also Rosaline Colkin on the back of it.
I open it.
You open it. Inside is an invitation from Mistress Vaj to Corona, to Zora Caramitrio, introducing you all as Fredlap of the Cloaks, third rank Fredlap of the Cloaks, and his adventuring party, the Odd Jobs.
Hey guys, we got the thing. Hey, we got the thing.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah. You want to see it?
I trust you.
It's the thing. Definitely the thing.
So we're your odd jobs, huh? It's good
In
to
this
know.
particular instance, where me being introduced as a third rank of the Cloaks, I think that's the way it had to be.
Oh no, I understand. Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I mean, if I was gonna be writing up an invitation, I guess I would do it. I mean,
I have literally on every occasion said that one of the other ones of you are the leader at some point. I've literally said that.
you can see
I-
Joe. It's just like, yeah,
I
no,
take
totally.
leadership
I,
of
no,
this party at every fucking turn.
What do you think I'm bothered by it?
Yes, you are noticeably how you say bothered.
I'm above a dog.
I'm bothered. I'm bothered.
I'm above it right now. Am I above it? Am I? Am I
Am
what?
I?
Am I?
I'm above a dog.
I'm
Am I bothered though?
Anyway.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Oh boy.
So, with invitation in hand, you all board the Indigo Wings. You can see a number of crewmates are moving around and point you towards Fergus's captain's quarters. And you can hear kind of a rummaging. The door's currently shut.
Yeah, Joe's gonna knock on it.
There's the sounds of shuffling. What sounds like metal and paper being shut together. The sound of a chest opening, then locking, and before the door opens up. Oh, hey. Hey, look, it's you guys again. Back for another day of work, eh?
Well, yeah, just like we agreed to, Fergus. Odd jobs are on the job.
Very nice. Thank you so much there, Jove. Could I ask you guys all a question real quick?
You ask a lot of questions.
I'm an
No
inquisitive
offense,
kind of
but,
guy, you know.
Well, I mean, you already asked one question, but you can go ahead.
Oh, do you all bathe regularly? Can I have all you guys make a
Define-
wisdom saving throw?
Define regularly. There we go.
Before I answer?
Before you answer, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
14 weeks.
14.
The way that D&D Beyond
Nine.
says this is it's 11 plus a -1 for 10.
10,
That's
14,
8.
8,
9.
9. All right, go
We
ahead and
all
give your,
passed.
give your answers.
No.
Oh, that's pretty dirty. What about you, Purple?
No, but I did bathe recently.
I'd believe that. How about you, the other masked one?
Believe it or not, it gets fucking sweaty in this mask, so, yeah, I do my best to bathe regularly, or else, the stench gets to this one over here, and she points towards Freddy.
And what about you there, Jove?
Well, not as often as I'd like.
Oh, what do you mean by that? It kind of, his attention kind of focuses on you.
Well, I mean, like, I do a lot of things that get me either dirty or sweaty or a combination of dirty and sweaty, and I would appreciate taking more. I don't know, baths, bathing, running in the stream, that sort of thing. But sometimes life in old Mole Master includes regular bathing and other sorts of, I don't know, joyous occasions as such.
Hmm. All right there. Well, thanks for answering that question there. We get back to it, huh? Huh?
Yeah, back
Can
to
I
it.
do
Yeah, another
an
day.
insight roll just on him and why he's asking the questions?
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight.
Ooh, 17.
17. Um, you're not sure, just with how weird and varied these questions are, what kind of information could be gathered about whether you bathe regularly. You think back on the questions that asked, like, how often does Jasper sharpen her axe? What's Rory's favorite color? Do you consider yourself an honest person? What's the most underhanded thing you've done? They all just seem to be strange character questions. However, you do notice that whenever Fergus does ask these questions, he does seem to always have a finger or a hand or some sort of motion towards that strange kind of gold necklace he has around his neck.
Okay. I'll do something about that tomorrow. Or maybe if he tries to ask us a question at the end of today.
Yeah, you kind of sit and you ponder that as you guys begin kind of doing your guard rounds. 2 on the top deck, 2 on the bottom deck. Everybody go roll ahead and go roll me a perception check.
Best one of the campaign.
Passive 12.
21.
Yeah,
Nin-
I got my passive.
19.
19,
Wow.
21.
Not the presses.
Um, so, Jasper and Rory, ships are fucking awful. I hate being on ships. You have just not enjoyed your experiences on them very much. And a whole day just bobbing in the Bay of Mulemaster. And a couple different times of some seasickness. The parts of the ship, smell like a bunch of dirty sailors. There's just movement. It's boring. It's seasickness. The day drags on. You're so used to just kind of like an exciting days or being around people or you're going on adventures that this is just so. It's even more mundane at times than the monastery, Rornak. At least there, the weather was interesting. However,
Yeah, I mean,
go for it.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say, I imagine this plus being physically on the ship just kind of sucks.
It is an endurance of a different type for you. Just to move through the ship and be in such places and the movements, it's not sturdy the way that you are so used to the ground being.
Mm-hmm.
Jove and Freddy with a 19 and a 21. Freddy, you notice that once, maybe twice a day, and you thought you'd seen it the day before, and now with this perception check, you're pretty sure. The City Watch will come towards the ship, look like they're about to go inspect it, or just be awful as they typically are, and a sailor, not from the ship, will go and talk to them, and they will turn around and leave. You see this happen once, and don't think anything of it, and then you see it happen a second time, and you notice that there's been no City Watch on this dock, or anything. It just kind of sits and the sailors unload stuff, bring some stuff on. They don't seem to be hassled by the City Watch, which is odd, for non-noble mole masterites. Jove, you look around, and towards the end of the day, you look towards. Hello? No, no echo. Good. Okay. Excellent. You look out towards the bay, and ever so slightly, you think you see what appears to be one or two heads bob up above the water and peer at the ship. And as you kind of walk towards it, kind of lean against the railing of the ship to get a better look, the heads kind of disappear back underneath the water. The day continues to drag on. You don't see any more heads pop out of the water. The city watch leaves the ship alone. Fergus goes around and makes rounds, not just asking you guys strange questions, but he asked his own crew different questions, such as, what's your relationship with your mom like? And do you put on your left shoe or your right shoe first? And even, where's your happiest place? Just strange questions, bordering on invasive.
With my thing earlier, can I have just like 10 minutes beforehand started the ritual for detect magic?
You begin to cast the ritual for magic, and it's not long towards other individuals see you. And before you have the chance to complete it, Fergus comes down. Hey, so what do you think you're doing there?
Oh, did you not want me to? I can stop. That's fine.
I just want to know what you're doing there, buddy. You know, magic and all that. Kind of a hot topic here in Mole Master.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do it. Permission from the cloaks.
What are you intending to cast there?
Just detect magic. I dropped the magic coin earlier. It's the easiest way to find it. I've dropped it before.
Go ahead and roll me a deception check on that.
17.
17. Let's roll his insight. Fergus. Oh, I know how that is, you know. If I lost some of my things, I'd probably want to do that whole trick if I was any good at that old magic there, but... Well, you're a cloak. We're a mole master. Go ahead. And, Fergus, kind of saunters off, and you hear him. So do you prefer white meat or dark meat when you carve into a bird? To another one of the sailors, and you successfully cast Detect Magic.
I mean, since I pulled off that stunt, might as well see what I pick up.
Yeah, you reach out your senses. For the most part, the ship is non-magical. You can see the ping from your party members that you are so used to. Sensing Jasper and Jove, specifically Jove, up on the top deck. And you feel two pings of magic that are not your familiar parties. One, you feel a strong combination of what feels like transmutation and divination magic coming from Fergus's room. You're not entirely sure what it is, but behind the door, somewhere in that room, something is pinging with a rather powerful pull of magic. The second ping you get comes from Fergus himself. You get a strong sense of divination magic on his person. The rest of the ship seems to be completely mundane. You don't sense any like magical wards or other objects, just Fergus and whatever is locked away in his room, both ping with magic. both divination magic of a sorts, but whatever's in his room also has that very strong transmutation, almost abjuration-like.
Okay.
Absolutely. The day continues to drag on. Give me another perception check, party.
Oof.
14.
14.
Another 21.
21.
14.
14. Rornak.
Sorry, I was muted. 18.
18. Alright. The rest of the day goes by. You guys survey the whole ship. You watch people on the docks. You see a number of ships come in and leave. But the day passes by without any incidents. You look out Jove, and with a little bit of help from Rory, out towards the bay, and you don't see any more heads bobbing up above the water. Everything seems quite serene, as much as the Bay of Mulmaster can be serene. You see that the sun begins to set, nightfall vastly approaches, and crewmate goes, "All right, everybody, I think that's about time to pack it up and wait out on the bay. Yeah, good job today. Did you find that lucky coin there?"
No, I think it probably dropped in the water.
Oh, that's real unfortunate. Couldn't pay me enough to dive down into the waters of the Bay of Mulmaster. Do much shit, you're never gonna find that. Real sorry to hear about that one there, Cloak.
Yeah, there's more magic coins. Like I said, I've dropped plenty before.
You gotta get a better pockets or something if you're used to dropping magic coins like that.
I'm always like trying to do the cool little trick where you roll it between your fingers when I'm bored, and I'm not good at it.
Oh yeah, I can real see that one. You know, it's real unfortunate there. I mean, we're all our own worst enemy, you know.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, well, a day's work deserves a day's pay. Hold on, and you can see, and he goes to his captain's quarters. Your chest opens up and comes back. 125 gold pieces to keep the ship right here safe in Mulmaster. Good job, everybody. He hands you 125 gold pieces.
How much was that divided by 4?
Well, I mean, if you're just gonna be giving it to me, we divide it by 3.
Yeah, go ahead.
So divide by 3 is 41 2/3.
As we're walking away, assuming he has nothing more to tell us, Tom.
Nah, wishes you well. You see the gangplank gets pulled up. They begin to pull the ship out of the Bay of Mulmaster.
I hate to keep asking my little brother for money, but I just remembered I have a quick trip I need to make before we head over to the Bloody Boar. If you could give me back 100 of my gold, I'd appreciate that.
More?
100 more, yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, before we lickety split and head over to the bloody boar, I gotta admit, getting some weird vibes off that dude. I don't know about y'all, but when I was standing there looking guard today, I caught something bobbing in the water. It looked like two heads that were below, like right at the water line, and I don't know. I've been thinking about it. In Rornak, we got this job through Crewmeg, right? It's a friend of Crewmeg.
Yeah, that was how it was advertised.
Now, you tell me, if you were to go to a town where you had a friend that owned a bar, wouldn't you, I don't know, want to go and say hi to your friend and maybe have a drink and catch up? That guy's scant mention, Crewmeg. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting looking too much into this, but I don't know. The question thing's kind of weird. Uh,
Yeah, I
it's-
mean, generally people know not to do too much asking, and Mole Master, people don't take too kindly to it, but he seems weirdly intent on doing that to everyone he crosses.
Right, and like, did you see the insistence that he had when I gave him kind of a wishy-washy answer this morning? No pun intended, but he like was really intent that I give him a, hey, this is what I do for my washing routine or what have you. I don't know. I might stop by the ox pit and talk to Crew Meg and see if we can crack that nut open because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like getting free gold for, not much work, but something smells a little fishy, and I don't think it's just the Bay and Master.
You said that on purpose.
I may have.
Pun intended.
But that one is entirely intended.
-1 to both of you. Because
Hey, I
you
was
said
pointing that out.
you said on purpose.
You said on purpose. You didn't sneak that by any of us.
-1 to both of you.
No, I think you're on to something there, Jove. This whole thing seems a bit too out of the ordinary. I don't know how else to put it.
There's definitely something odd about the way that he does business. It's unlike anything we've really come across here. I'm sure if we ask the right questions with Crewmig, we might get some idea, at least if this is normal for him.
Well, yeah, Warnock. I mean, you've got the best working relationship with Crewbag, so maybe we can stop by there and you can pry some information out of him. Not that I think we'll have to do too much prying.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth our time.
Want to just split up here and reconvene at the Bloody Boar then?
Sounds like a
Sounds
mighty
good to
fine
me.
idea.
Before we do that, DM,
Yes.
any idea whether in my, I have a fucking, what's it called? Medicine kit. Do you have any idea if that would have a syringe in it?
Let me take a look. Sees. Medicine kit. Oh, it's a healer's kit, I believe.
Oh, yeah, healer's kit.
Bandages, salve, splints. It does not contain a syringe in it.
Freddy, if you've not got anything going on before we meet up at the Bloody Boar, do you think you could make your way around town, see if you can't find me a syringe?
Got a college of nerds. I can find the syringe real easy.
I figured. Yeah, that would be much appreciated.
I go on a syringe hunt.
Freddy, you know that in the infirmary of the cloaks that there are indeed a number of medical instruments, including some syringes, which you're able to get a hold of one. Although with a quick why?
Learning some medicine. Mind your own business.
The cloak hands you that one. Actually, it's fucking dick. So yes, Freddy, you're able to get a syringe for Jasper. Jasper, where is your quest leading you?
I'm gonna go to the nicest, alcohol shop that I'm aware of as Azora, and buy a bottle of the, bloody, wine, the blood wine that, Satorn enjoys.
You find it. I'd rate of 50 gold pieces for a bottle here.
Oh, wow, they are upselling that. Bloody Boar. Woo! Okay, that's good. Good to know. Any chance I could get a nice she's like, it's a gift to someone well-to-do. Do you have any boxes that would present this nicely?
Yeah, for the sum of 60 gold pieces, you can get like a little box and the wine goes in it. There's 2 glasses in there. It's like a little carrying case. It's all
Nice.
padded on the inside and like nice velvet and keeps everything from moving and protected and like shuts in the front like a little casket.
Beautiful.
All like dark, mahogany wood, burgundy on the inside.
She's she's gonna thank the individual who sold it to her for their kind assistance, and she's gonna make her way back home. Actually, real quick.
You do?
And she is going to write a note that essentially says to Audric Satorn, I witnessed your fine display last night and admired you from afar. I noticed that you quite enjoyed the bottle of this drink that some fighter purchased for you, so I figured I would make the same gesture. Enjoy a little liquid luck before your fight. I will meet you afterwards to share in a glass myself. And she'll put on some lipstick real quick and kiss it as a signature. And she's gonna get her nicest perfume and spray the shit out of it and the box. And she's gonna, put the note in, or actually just kind of like stamp it on top of it, so it's attached essentially, and rub off the lipstick, and make her way over to the Bloody Boar.
Absolutely. As the laps are heading towards the Bloody Boar, Rornak and Jove, you head back to the Ox Pit Tavern. It's early evening as you make it back from the Bay of Mulmaster. It's not an entirely long walk. The Ox Pit has a number of individuals already there having drinks, enjoying full sales and Rornaks. You find a seat. There's a seat at the bar for both of you as you approach, and not long after you hear, "Ah, Rornak, Jove! Welcome back."
Crewmig, pleasure as always. How you been?
Oh, well, I gotta be honest, things have been a little rough here. Elmswood burning down does a huge number on the amount of food and drink coming into the city, so that's been hurting our bottom dollar a little bit, but luckily, between my stores at full sale and the popularity of the Rornak, I've been able to break about even.
Yeah, well, glad that I've been helping you out even when I've been away. Speaking of which, can I get one of my namesake, please?
You got it there, Rornak. Jove, what about yourself?
Well, I'd actually enjoy a little bit of that fine dwarven whiskey you've been sharing me with. That's been a fine tipple, and I'd like to have some of that if you still got it on hand.
Yeah, I got a little bit left of that. I'm gonna have to order some more. Not that I mind, especially if you're gonna keep on ordering it.
Actually, I had a little bit of this the other day. Not at this fine establishment, but actually got a little bit of a swill with that buddy of yours we're doing a job for.
Oh, you're talking about Fergus. Yeah, how's the job going?
Well,
Well,
as far as the job goes, I'll be honest, it's been pretty simple. Probably some of the easiest money that we've made on it so far. So, can't complain there. The business practices are a little odd. We just wanted to check and see how he normally operates with you.
What do you mean by odd?
Does he tend to ask you questions pretty frequently?
Oh, like how did I get my first childhood scar? What's the longest I've ever kept my beard? How many rings do I think I could fit on one hand? That sort of question.
Yeah, exactly those type.
Yeah, me and Fergus go way back. We grew up outside the Earthspur Mountains in a big dwarven area. Earthfast, big city for dwarves. Although the both of us weren't much for being underneath the mountains. A lot more going on outside the mountains. Yeah, he's always kind of an odd character, I'll give him that, but sure fast friends. He does all sorts of traveling and picking up objects, the whole real merchant life. I didn't like moving around so much, so once I found Mole Master, set up the spot here, I chose to stick around. Been here for the better part of 60 years now. Yeah. He didn't
Well,
used to ask so many questions, not until he came back after one job. I don't know. Just seemed like it's always peering into you.
Yeah, that was kind of the vibe that I was getting from that. I just wanted to see if that was just his normal MO, so to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fergus isn't a bad guy, just a little invasive with the questions.
Well, yeah, and I think it's kind of odd that he's just, I don't know. We finish up the day's job, and then he pulls anchor, and then is just hanging out in the Bay of Mole Master, not coming by visiting his friend. I don't know. I'd be a little bit hurt if one of my bosom buddies didn't come by and say hi while they were in town.
That is kind of strange. I mean, did see him when he first came into Mole Master before your job all started, and got to say our piece. He just actually came back from around where home was. Said he got some big job coming, some sort of thing like that, but didn't tell me what for and what it could be.
So he just came back from the Earthspur Mountains, you're saying?
Yeah. Well, he's from Earthfast.
Earthfast. Apologies.
Not a problem, not a problem. I don't expect, you and our halfling friend here to understand the intricacies of dwarven geography and city planning, but, I'll be honest, most non-dwarves don't.
Yeah, certainly not a local, so I appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. Hold on, here's your drinks, and, can't you a Rornak, and you another, dwarven whiskey, Jove. Gotta ask some questions about Fergus. He mistreating you? Think something's going on?
He's just acting mighty strange, and yeah, we're just I don't know. He's been asking us some like we said, them penetrating questions, and just been acting real odd around the crew, and hasn't showed any hostility to us or Jasper or Freddy, anything of the like. He's been paying well and on time and all that. So, frankly, after spending a little bit of time here in Mole Master, it's weird because it's so normal. I guess. Seems like we're getting paid a hefty fee for not doing too much.
Listen here, Jove. I know that you've been in Mole Master for a little bit of time now, but what you really gotta understand is you should take what you can when you can, because who knows what's promised tomorrow. If he's gonna pay you a whole bunch of money to do a whole bunch of nothing, I wouldn't look that gift horse in the mouth. Let him be weird, ask his questions. You still getting paid, right?
Oh, you do make a good point. Man, I want to ask him a question of my own, just in case there's anything going wrong with him. Who knows? Maybe he got a little sick or something from his travels. Is there something that maybe you know about the fella that only he would know, you guys would know from your time as we dwarves, that I don't know, might be a fun little trivia thing that he can't be the only one asking penetrating questions, am I right?
Something only the mean Fergus knows. Well, you could ask him about how his first girlfriend's hair smelled. It's a big joke between the two of us. She was a nice dwarven lass, all that good stuff. You know, first love, it hit you hard, hit you fast, and boy, he would not shut up about how good her hair smelled all the time. So, it was kind of a bit of a goof. I gifted her a bit of shampoo. You know, something for when you clean yourself off, all that good stuff, you know. We're dwarves, so our idea of smelling good is the smell of the forge and fire, good whiskeys, the earth, that kind of stuff. So, I got a bit of, it kind of looks both ways. Got a bit of some roper pea. It's real nasty stuff. They're like living stalactites, and when they eat stuff, they just liquefy the whole body. Anything that they can't use, it just kind of squirts out of them. So took a little bit of that and threw it into some shampoo, gifted it to her as a gift from Fergus. And let me tell you, when he took a big whiff of her hair the next time he saw her, well, if you didn't exist, he'd still be the vomit comet. Looks over to you, Rorak.
Yeah, well, some names should go faster than others as he continues to try to hold down this current drink.
Yeah, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, why did I even mention it? It's 11.
11. You think about that and just he looks at you and you're not quite prepared. Just but you're able to keep it down. He kind of spits a little bit back and put it right back down.
Well, Krumag, I'm sure we're just making a mountain out of a molehill. Uh, happens more often when you're closer to the ground, like us folk, don't you know? But yeah, well, we'll keep ourselves going on, taking what we can when we can, and all that, and be bringing that gold coin right back to this fine establishment. And so long as the drinks keep flowing and you keep fluffing off that pillow just like I like.
Yeah, well, luckily you only use about a quarter of the pillow, so.
Doesn't make it easier. Well, I appreciate your kindness and forthrightness there, crewmate.
Yeah, you guys are some of my regulars. You've done good work for me in and outside the Oxpit, so. Always happy, and especially because you keep on giving me them shiny gold coins. Hell, they don't even need to be shiny as long as they're still gold.
Jove will take out enough gold to pay the tab and kind of he'll breathe on one and take his cloak and shine it up for him and say, still spins the same, and drop it down on the counter for him.
That it does. And he grabs the gold coins and. Alright, well, I got some more work to do, so. You know, keep doing good work over there for Fergus. Don't let them questions bother you too much, you know. And gives you all kind of a heavy nod and begins to head back and begin serving other patrons some drinks. So you're left with your drinks in the Oxpit Tavern.
What's your read on that, Rorniak?
Well, my read is probably nothing great going on here, to be honest. But it might be a bit of a don't ask, don't tell kind of situation, I would imagine. That, or we just have the most interesting, inquisitive fellow ever that we're working for.
Maybe I'm just traumatized from seeing a brain with 4 legs burst out of the back of somebody's head, but people walking around acting like they haven't always been acting puts me on edge. But for Crewmeg's sake, for all of our coin purses' sake, we'll keep it cool. But
Can keep it cool. If we knew some more about that possible job that he had lined up, we might have a couple more pieces together, but I don't know how to get that information without being too suspicious, you know?
yeah, I might bring up the whole Crewmeg thing tomorrow morning and see if we get some sort of reaction. Just tell them, obviously, that crewmate was telling us some old folk tales about the two of them over some drinks. But yeah, glad we came here and did this. Little odd. Whoop.
Groovy, no.
No, groovy.
Totally ungroovy.
Only on groovy.
The first lost party member.
First death
Yeah.
of the campaign. Okay. Well, I think that's a perfect time to switch back over to the Bloody Boar. Groovy, no, return. Come back. I mean it. Oh, welcome back, Groovy. Let's try this again.
Ain't see no Groovy.
No, nothing's happening.
Ruby's online, but not in the chat. They're ghosting us.
Oh, they're idle now. Now they're pretending to be idle. Groovy,
So
I
this
know
is-
you're online. I saw you online 2 seconds ago.
It says
It's
Unbelievable.
Groovy is no
It's
longer
true.
in service. If you have any questions or concerns, click
Oh.
here to join our. Click here to join
Whoa.
our Discord. What?
Ow.
Wow.
We have record of it going out of service.
That's amazing.
We did it.
It
Well,
says it's
on-
listening to Store Groovy Bot. What the fuck is
It
that?
says on August 30th, 2021,
just-
Groovy will end its service.
Oh
Well, it's
no.
not August 30th, is it?
Wow.
Get your shit
Whoa.
together, Groovy.
Whoa.
Right.
Wow. Really kind of.
They found the last stragglers that had Groovy. Damn.
Yeah. Happy birthday to me, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Sheet. Now I don't know what to do. That's really. The atmosphere of the music has really been a big deal.
Yeah, that's been
unfortunately.
great.
Well,
Maybe there's another option out there.
yep. Here, I'm just gonna play this in the background. I'm going to.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Well, with that in the background, return back to the Bloody Boar. A number of individuals and a decent-sized crowd are being to head in. You all head underneath the constantly dripping Bloody Boar head above the establishments. See a person or two wander and go to the side entrance, entering back in to Woolmaster's premier fighting pit. You can see Devamari back at the table, other individuals. You briefly see the Fangs of Chimera at the bar, enjoying a kind of a pre-fight drink.
Jasper will give them a nod as she walks past, but she's gonna make her way over to the black masked individual. She's facing on the name right now.
Devamari.
Devamari, and inquire whether the three of us can compete together in the beast category.
The three of you together. Yes, we could make that happen. You just simply need to pay your entrance fees. However, we will adjust the evening's combat to reflect your new numbers. Welcome back, Shadow Axe. Hello, Ranger. And you, the Ranger's companion. Looks to you,
Yeah,
Rona,
this-
gives you an up and down.
They seemed like a tough crew, so I figured I could use a hand in showing these beasts what for.
That you could. Well, entrance fees, please.
50?
Yes.
Beauty.
Yes, indeed.
Rornak will count it out and hand it over.
You
what I'm
all
saying.
pay your 50 gold pieces to enter into the fights.
Are you able to to bet on yourself? Like if you were in an event, could you bet on yourself?
Mari kind of turns and, yes, you are allowed to bet on yourself.
Do we want to make it 4 then?
Yeah, might as
Hey.
well if you're allowed to bet on us.
Make it 4.
50 gold, please, is cloak.
All these people fucking know I'm a cloak.
Give me an insight check.
Price of being famous, I guess. No, it's the price of being famous.
This is the same.
Got
person I told you.
20!
And that
Nice.
20
That's got to be like my second one of the campaign.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
your first ever.
Devamari, you can tell even behind the mask that they are giving you the most deadpan look ever after that comment. However, you do notice Devamari is a different size than they were yesterday. They seem broader, more masculine than they did. The voice sounds deeper, similar, but deeper. You might think that they might even be an inch shorter than they were the day before. And you look, and it's the same outfit. Shoulders are more broad. The arms appear bigger. They're a little bit shorter. There's just all these little slight things that you noticed, Freddy, on Devamari the second day. Or night, as the case may be.
Weird.
Do we still get to come up with cool names? Because
Are you fighting as a group? I would assume a group name would be most appropriate. But you may graft yourself a fighter's name if you prefer. Did you have something in mind, Ranger?
yeah. You know, I think it goes without saying that the group name, well, actually maybe it doesn't go without saying. Well, we'll leave that there, but you can call me you can call me Windbringer.
Windbringer.
You'll see why.
Alright.
You'll see why, don't you worry.
I wait with bated breath. The rest of you, do you have a name you would like to be announced? Shadow Axe, I assume you are going to continue to be Shadow Axe.
Yeah, people were already cheering it. I don't want to confuse them.
Shadow Axe. Windbringer.
Since you don't get too many, I might as well be the cloak, shouldn't I?
The Clerk.
Since everybody already fucking knows. And I'll take my amulet out of my shirt, wear it on my actual chest.
You
Because
do.
it's on my necklace and I usually have it tucked in my shirt.
And you.
You could call me. Shadow Axe is good. It's like that.
Damn.
Call me Twin Mercy.
Twin
Ooh.
Mercy. An interesting choice for a fighter. But if you're going to go place your bets, do so now. The portcullis will be prepared for you momentarily. As you see, Devamari writes down Windbringer, Twin Mercy, the Cloak, and Shadow Axe as a group.
As we walk away, Jasper's gonna lean over to Freddy. Did you find a syringe for me?
What?
The syringe.
Oh, yeah, no, I got it.
She likes I swear to God, motherfucker. She snatches it out of your
You
hand.
can roll inside if you want to, but your sisterly instincts tell you that he definitely did that on purpose.
Oh, she knows you well.
Your passive insight of 9 reveals that
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, she's gonna walk out of the building towards the alleyway, and you could tell she's fucking irritated. But yeah, while she's gonna dip into another alley real quick and pull out the bottle of wine, and she's gonna tip it upside down and stick the syringe through the cork as gently as possible, and pull out about the amount of wine that is like how much poison she is gonna put into it. However much is in that poison vial.
Yeah, it's about a vial's worth, so it fills the entirety of the syringe, so you pull out the entirety of a syringe worth of wine, and then do the same thing and refill it with the tincture. Just give me a sleight of the hand check.
Sweet Jesus. For fuck's sake, dude. Like, she's being careful, but a 7.
7, you get it through the cork and put it in there. There's a little bit of resistance, but you're able to get the tincture all the way into the bottle.
Okay.
You have a quick scare as you almost spray a little bit onto your own self, and you go and remove the glove from your fingers and drop it off to the side and think better of yourself than picking it back up with your bare hands.
Yeah.
And leave the glove. So you currently only have one glove on. But the tincture has been successfully administered to the bottle.
Okay. Yeah, she'll put it back in its case and she'll wait outside the door for her fellow fighters to come on out.
Absolutely. The rest of you, how much would you like to bet on tonight's fight?
Joe's gonna throw down another 100 gold.
100 gold from Jove. Got it.
Well, I guess if I
What are the
die, I
odds?
die. So I'll put on 100.
And then what was the grand total for you, Freddie?
What are the odds for the fight?
For the odds for Beast Knight, since there are 4 of you, the odds would be against these creatures. Four to 7. Hold on, my bookie knowledge is not as great as I would like to see. Okay. It is... Okay, so it would be a single bet of a handy 3. Oh, that's a dollar sign. Oh gosh. For you guys, since it's Beast Night and you've got one person tested, put it 2 to 1.
So we get whatever we put in back out, or twice what we put in back out?
Whatever you get in, you get back out.
Okay. I will do 950.
950 gold pieces. And so
On the beat, no.
on the beasts. For 100 gold bet for Jove, 100 gold bet for Rory, and a 950 gold bet from Freddie. A grand total the party has bet on themselves for 1,150 gold pieces.
Yeah,
No
we kind of
pressure.
leaned into this.
This is an impressive amount of gold. And with that, after, Jove, you put your gold forward, Rornak, you put your gold forward, and then Freddy puts a fat amount of gold on the table. Like, so much so that, like, Jasper, you are, like, starting to get anxious because your party's taking so long. You're able to do your whole thing and wait because they sit and they have to count out 950 gold pieces. They give you all the writs, and immediately there's like a frenzy of people running to bet for and against you guys. The pot begins to swell. There is a real amount of excitement because of how much money is being bet on this fight. You even see as you leave, it does even catch the attention of Darmov as she looks over with a curious look at the individuals who have now put over 1,000 gold pieces on bets tonight. While not the craziest thing she's ever seen, simply a lot of gold for new fighters entering the pit. But you all reconvene with Jasper. You see the side entrance for fighters, a single, muscle-bound like thug in the front of it. He has like a small stool, a large like metal door with a slot in it. Out there as you all kind of reconvene.
Hey, Rory, would you mind doing me a favor?
What do you need?
Once we get down in the fighters area, there's gonna be a hall to our right, and in that hall there is one door on the left side. Would you mind taking this box and putting it down in front of it and just giving a quick couple knocks and scooting away before anyone comes to answer?
Ronak takes a quick second. I can do that. Didn't take you for making a delivery down here, but okay.
Yeah, it's a gift for a friend I made last night.
So, you all approach the kind of thug out front of the door and pulls up kind of like a parchment. So, looking for Shadow Axe? You're there. I assume the three of you are Twin Mercy, the Cloak. Oh, that's clever. And Windbringer?
You got that right.
And looks down on you, towers over you at well over 6 foot.
I feel like Cloak is the least original. It's not that clever. I'm just a cloak.
You're Windbringer. You.
In the flesh.
What, do you just like fart on your opponents? Is that what you mean? What kind of fucking name is Windbringer?
No, that's my brother. He's Windbreaker, but I'm Windbringer. So you'll see me once I'm out in the pit. It'll all click in.
All right, whatever you say, Windbringer. Get on in there. And he opens. He does a couple of knocks on the door. It slides on open, and see a pair of eyes, and the door opens, and you are let into the boar pits, fighting chambers. Entering in, you make your way around, and Jasper, you see the same familiar pool, and the rest of you kind of get to see kind of the sunken-in area. Rornak, you do see that hallway leading off to the right. You see a number of fighters here. It appears as if the things of the Chimera are not in this crowd currently. Jasper, you would look around immediately to see if you see them, and they are currently not in this bout. You see a number of different individuals. It does seem like there are less people after the former evening's events. Many of them look more akin to Jove than you would think a typical gladiator fights. Lots of them with bows and arrows, more like axes and weapons of what one might call more savage weapons than like a duelist weapon. Kind of take your place. Got about 15 or so minutes before the fights begin.
Jove is gonna go to Freddy for a second, and before we get started, Jove's gonna ask Freddy, "Hey, Freddy, the whole cloak business and all that. that Davimara or the black masked individual said last night that magic in the ring is cool and all that, but I know you're out here with your whole face and branding yourself as a cloak. Is it gonna be bad if I use magic, like doing my ranger stuff, since or do I have a pass? Like, I just don't want to get you in trouble, get us in trouble, that kind of thing. I just need to know now.
Yeah, you'll. I mean, what you're doing would get me in trouble should somebody talk to the cloaks about it. But with the fact that there's this many people down here and they're talking about magic being allowed or not allowed and having to worry about it, something tells me this isn't really the crew to be tattling. And worst case scenario, you have to become a cloak. Actually, worst case scenario, you get executed for, doing magic in the city. But hopefully, we can bring it down to worst case scenario, you become a cloak.
Well, okay. At least now I know. All right. I feel better. I guess.
I'll try and make my magic flashy, and then if you can keep yours to just kind of like basic magic stuff, maybe people won't focus on the fact that you're using magic as much. Which,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's saying a lot, because I feel like any kind of magic they see is probably going to be a spectacle, because, I mean, as you know, it's not really a common thing.
Well, luckily, one of my things I just kind of have to utter a word, and so it's not like I'm having to wave my hands around or do anything like that. But
You know what you could do? You could make an effort to make everything you're doing look like it's a magic item.
Well, that's not a half bad idea.
Like maybe if you need to cast one of your spells, you hold up. I'm gonna dig through my possessions. Hold up this. Ooh, here's a good one. Don't fucking let it break, okay?
All
I'm gonna
right.
give you my old loot. Pretend that it's your magic item that casts that spell. Maybe even give it a strum, put on a good show.
Oh, I'm kind of all left hand when it comes to playing the lute, unfortunately. Might bring more attention than anything else.
Jove, please make me a performance roll.
All right. Okay, 12.
12. Jove is successful in strumming the lute. It just makes like a basic bring.
Just your basic chord.
Yeah, just a basic chord, no fingers on the fret, just like one strum. And luckily, Freddie, you always keep your instruments tuned, so it's in tune. Jove, you do in fact have the skills to strum a lute.
Yeah, I would say don't act like it's a focus, because that would imply magic stuff. But maybe if there's some kind of spell that you plan on using often, maybe pretend that that's your magic item that does it. And good thing about magic items, they don't have to sound pretty to cast a spell.
Well, right there. And frankly, if it comes down to one of y'all dying or myself dying, and whether or not I'm trying to keep a lid on the whole magic thing, magic's gonna happen. But safe to say that Akila's gonna be watching this one from the sidelines.
That is for sure what should happen.
Well, glad we cleared that up, Freddie. And if worse comes to worse, I hope you can give me a nice little introduction to the cloaks.
It's not up to me. I mean, a rank 3 word is better than what we had before, but it's not going to be as easy as, nah, he's cool. Oh, okay, he's cool. It's, if anybody finds out, it'll be a kerfuffle.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence there, Freddie. Let's get this done.
As this conversation is happening, Rornak, what would you be doing?
Rornak is going to he will definitely go and deliver first. Because are we down in that area
Yes,
now?
you are indeed down in that area.
Yeah, Rornak is gonna go ahead and take the little delivery that Jasper asked him about, and he will follow that path. So he'll take that right, and I believe she said it was the first door on the left.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
So
So
while he's doing that, she's gonna be on the west side of the pool of water, washing her hands.
What sight?
Proceed. Ronak, you see the door, the placard, Andrix Satorn on it. Door is currently shut.
Rornak makes a note of the name as he puts it down, gives a couple strong knocks, and then makes his way out, trying to get out before anyone could see him.
A few moments later, you hear, "Who thinks that they have the audacity to disrupt my post and pre-fight ordeals? Andrix Satorn does not simply take visitors, so whoever you are..." And hear the door open, he looks down. "Oh. Ah, another gift from my many suitors. Excellent." You see, Jasper, since you're washing your hands over the pool, you see Andric go, and he picks up the case and looks at it, and you hear, "Well, somebody finally treating me with the recognition I deserve. Perhaps one, well, maybe after the fight." And he takes your package into his room, and the door shuts.
To make it so that you can never unhear it, but every time I was gonna say every time he talks, I
Literally,
hear Zap
Kyle.
Brannigan.
I'm
glad I'm not the only one.
Oh,
I'm glad we all got where my inspiration was coming from. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, baggin.
Some shambaggin.
Leela. Leela.
Kip, put it in my captain's log.
Skip, it's time for my sponge bath.
Oh, yeah. So, Andre takes your gift, Jasper, into his quarters. There's a calling for Windbringer, Shadow Axe, the Cloak, and Twin Mercy. Portcullises, and can I have you guys all roll me a d8?
should have had
It's a 2.
5.
CX.
8.
Your portcullises are 2, 5, 6, and 8. They go up to the map. That is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 is the top left portcullis. It was,
Okay, so it starts on the west side and goes clockwise.
yes, absolutely.
Yep.
It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? You had a 5, right? I'm sorry, tell me the numbers
Yeah,
again.
that's me.
You
Okay.
had 2.
I'm 5.
Yeah.
5, so you are the one to the right of where you were last night. 6, bottom right, and 7, 8, bottom left. So, if everyone would please take a very strong mental note of where that is. You all go to your portcullises in kind of the shadowed hallways that lead up to it. You all have kind of like a moment or two to kind of collect yourselves, do any last minute prep, got anything before the portcullis gates open?
You know, probably shouldn't I?
Was there something you were going to do?
I'm just making sure that there's nothing that I want to do. You know what I can do? I'm going to go up to. Which one of y'all's can do the fucking beefiest hit?
Probably either Jove or myself.
Oh wait, you got the. You've got the sneaky sneaks, the attacks of kill yourself.
Yeah, without Aquila here, Jasper I think is gonna be the strongest.
I'm gonna boop you on the nose and you're gonna turn invisible.
Dope.
As I cast invisibility.
All right.
Sneak attack.
You are invisible
Wow.
until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as the target's person. The spell ends if the target attacks or casts a spell. So your first attack will be invisible.
Beautiful.
Excellent. You cast a quick bit of magic onto your sister, and her image fades from sight as you are now invisible. You all head to your portcullises, have a moment to pray to your various gods, do whatever it is you do before your prep. And not long afterwards, you hear the as the portcullis gates open up and you walk onto the fighting pits. You hear a voice ring out. Alright, you fucking heathens. Welcome to another night at the Bloody Boar, the best fighting pits in all of Mulemaster. Welcome to Beast Night, where we put our best and most ferocious beasts against whatever foul souls think they're strong enough to beat their savagery. We've got a new group with us, comprised of one you all met last night, Shadow Axe. And everyone looks
She's
around
gonna
and
kick up some dust without dispelling herself. Obviously.
She's over there. That's her over there. She's invisible right now.
you see a bunch of the crowd look over and it's like, what? Where? And Shadow Axe bringing some new friends with her. The Cloak, Windbringer, and Twin Mercy.
When she says cloak, I'm going to wink at Jove, and I'm going to start playing my harp, and I'm going to be using its illusions to create a 15-foot sphere of a fireworks show, just showing Jove that I'm going to be keeping as much attention on my shelf as possible.
Yeah, can I have everybody as your names are individually called? We'll start with minus you, Jasper, because nobody can see you right now.
Yeah.
They just see a bunch of dust getting kicked up and occasionally moves across your visage.
Roll a dust check.
Roll a dust check. Freddie, roll me a performance check.
No fucking way. My third nat 20 of the campaign, but 27.
Your fireworks, everyone else don't bother rolling performance because nobody is looking at anything but the cloak right now. As the fireworks shoot out, it's vibrant.
I'm air guitaring, but with an actual instrument.
Oh, just absolutely, and having a small show, and people are cheering, they're excited, not even noticing that somebody's been cold and they're currently invisible. Even Arma looks over and claps her hands and smiles and, oh, look at this fucking show. Well, why don't we start it off with a real bang? And as soon as those words leave her lips, you hear a bang, 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 and the sound of multiple beasts roaring at once. This loud, roaring sound as the portcullis gates begin to open. Let Beast Night begin! And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. Good cliffhanger.
Excellent. Well, let us say goodnight to chat.
good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Yeah.
Good night, chat. Thank you for being here for episode 28. We will be taking a hiatus. It is somebody and their wife's birthday this upcoming weekend. Hopefully we will get to see that individual in person. So happy early birthday, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Absolutely. We will reconvene in 2 weeks' time for episode 29 of our Mulemaster campaign. Thank you so much. Peace in the Middle East. Much love. Until next time.